one thing that I do know for certain, though, beyond all measure, is that Phil never needs to have his hair forward again.
Yeah. Is it a hat or a slick back?
It was, and I don't even know. Like, here's
I think
the thing.
just slick back. I think
I think that's the key.
You use the hat for sun protection. That's it.
Jesus. God damn it.
Because I think that it looks like it looked like a whole new man that came out.
Yeah.
Like when he had his hair slicked back, I was like, man, where's this gentleman been hiding? But that guy, he
looks serious.
Yeah, he looks serious.
He looks like he was ready to take care of some business for some associates. And I'm okay with that.
And he said to me, he was like, but it doesn't hide my widow's peak. I was like, Phil, you're not hiding anything, like, with that hair. Like, I hope you don't think that. Because if you think that just combing it forward, that you're hiding the fact that you're losing it, you're not. Everybody knows. It's obvious. And actually, I think it's more flattering and less obvious when you have it back. It looked good. So
it's like you're accepting your mortality or something.
Yeah, kudos to him.
Where am I plugging?
A matured look.
Yeah, I don't know. Are you not working?
Oh, I'm on 4. I was turning up the wrong one.
Welcome back to episode 221 and 8th? 221. And
just in case you need to know that for any sort of reference's sake.
That is true. Like, why even mention it?
I know.
Like, is there anybody that's like, like...
It might be easy to reference if somebody wants to say, episode 221 at the time step 1543, you mentioned Bible verses that...
Dude,
use the King James version.
Should we have a Bible segment?
No, it's biblical. Remember, that's the thing.
That is true.
Hey, I am a very educated agnostic, so I could definitely
the
some
jaw
down.
of an ass. That's what Mikey Shoulder said. It's biblical. Look it up. Yeah. Jaws of an ass.
Oh yeah, all about them jaws.
Used to call it jawbone. We have a good show lined up, a lot of interesting stuff, and we're going to. There's with me having left Shattercast recently, and they got Oscar back, which is a smart choice for them. Like, I think that he will alleviate some of the pressure. He will be a loud, boisterous voice, and then it'll allow Robert to be an even louder and boisterous voice and not have to have any sort of control, just Robert unleash.
And then sky's the limit from there.
Sky's the limit, 100%. Yeah. So, like, I was glad to see that. And welcome back to Shattercast, Oscar. There is a void for me for talking about Transformers. Mm-hmm. So, like, I want to try, as stuff comes up, stuff that I usually would wait to get into on Shattercast, to just bring it up here.
I like third party.
Yeah.
We're not talking about Hasbro.
I mean, I'm out of the game, but I'm well versed enough.
Yeah, like, I haven't bought anything, but I like. I mean, I look at it.
I can argue about anything.
Yeah. So, I'm looking forward to that. Let me talk about. Well, let me first introduce. I have Uncle Dolphin here.
What's up?
And I have Chris Pinkerton, if you're nasty.
If you're nasty.
Yeah, only if.
I thought his name was not Uncle Dolphin.
That's true. As of today, the baby is.
I am not Uncle Dolphin.
She was going through everyone's name. And what's his name? Not Uncle Dolphin.
That's fair. I've been called worse. On a paycheck.
And also true.
Yes.
Yes.
Didn't speak any.
Your baby,
she
your
wasn't
baby
sure
tells no
falsities.
lies.
She wasn't sure of her own name though. I was like, "Oh, what's your name?" She's like, "I am," and then she looked over at Bobby.
She's probably transitioning from baby to Leia.
Yeah,
yeah. She said, "I'm not baby." I said, "Okay, then who are you?" I am.
Yeah.
Is that a Michael Jackson noise?
No.
By the way, I need to start. I need to start the show off by making a clarification. My wife, KJ Sparkles, had never listened to this show.
Yeah, she looked tentative.
She thought it was about Transformers.
Yeah, she did. I was like, "What?
Because
what idea was this?"
And I mean,
she thought you needed 4 Transformer shows. That's what she thought.
Right. Well, she hears us downstairs. You know, I do Enter the Realm on Monday nights in the basement when I'm home, and I guess she just made that assumption. But so she goes to the grocery store yesterday, and she always wears her earbuds and listens to something. And she pulled her phone up and showed me she was about 3/4 of the way through last week's episode.
Oh, the one on Friday night one?
Yeah, it would have been. Yeah. And I said, I kind of gave her this tentative look, and she said, "Y'all are fucking ridiculous." It was like, so you didn't?
I had no idea we've been doing this for like 3 fucking years.
She said, I said, was it did you like? She's like, oh, it's great, but y'all are fucking ridiculous.
She's not wrong.
But,
I'm like,
but that's
okay.
that's
Make
that's
sure
what
you
we
press
are, right?
the subscribe button.
Yeah.
And if you want notifications, you gotta hit the bell.
That's
That's
why
right.
I was trying to explain what, like, she was like, that's a Transformer show. What is it? I'm like, it's a
Life-
lifestyle show. Lifestyle of an adult nerd.
Well, I think lifestyle would mean we're trying to steer people towards something.
I am.
And I don't know if it's
I thought we were.
if
I
it's
thought we were like
tank tops or flannel shirts.
Beta
I'm not sure.
cuckolds is what I'm trying to steer people towards.
Have you seen the people that run with us? Okay. This is all Bobby's doing.
Yeah.
So I'll
So
hold the camera.
she's gonna look at us differently now. I'm always surprised when someone says they listen. I'm like, oh wait, so you know a lot about us.
Yeah, I
A
do.
lot about me, a lot about Bobby, especially.
I think-
don't- not much about Pinkerton. He keeps a little.
that is true. He's fairly private.
Listen, I haven't, let you guys take spread eagle pictures of me, but okay. You want it?
Sometimes.
Okay. All right.
I do.
I had a life before I knew y'all.
You know who
Right.
really gets the short end
At
of
Alabama.
the disclosure stick? Laura.
Oh. I will tell you a funny story.
Don't suggest her listen. I don't, she may not like it.
When it's Dunkel, right?
Uh-huh.
When Dunkel was here,
Uh-huh.
so he was over against by your window. I'm sitting on the couch, and she's like on the stool behind me. She leans down and says something along the lines of, "I'm always a little uncomfortable when I meet somebody from Patreon because they know so much about me." And I just laughed.
Yeah.
I just laughed.
So my nerd week has been. It's been long because it's been a long time since we've gotten together for podcasting. Poddin. So here we go. I did a bunch of Patreon stuff. Caught up on some of that. I did wine and cheese yesterday with Laura. It was great. We had talk about
And meats. There was meats involved.
Yeah, she threw some meats in there, so to speak. But
Fancy.
she's very fancy, and I completed the music video.
Oh, it's great.
Thank you.
It's fucking great.
It does feel good. You never know until you get it out there, really. But
Yeah, but like Shoulder said, you need to think maybe do a short film.
yeah, now there's something funny, But I think it's visually interesting. I think it might be
Yeah.
the most visually interesting one I've done.
And it's very serious.
yeah,
It's got a tone to it.
yeah.
I really like the way it all came together. The way you edited it, and I have to give you credit, man. I know you've got a quick hand because of the reviews and shit, but
Yeah, right?
man, like I asked you the following day, you're like, or the day after, you're like, oh yeah, it's done.
Yeah.
It'll be done tomorrow, and it was like an hour later.
I was surprised he didn't start like editing while we were eating dinner.
Which I
Because
usually do.
In his head, he was already.
Yeah, because I kind of knew where I needed everything anyway. So like that was the bonus.
And
to
the
that.
fact that we did, I mean, listen, I'm not the kind of guy that's been on a lot of movie sets, but I would imagine they do more than one. And you're a one take guy.
if I can, yeah, because
It's like you don't want to have to yell stunt cock
Well, because
you just want to get the money shot and get out.
because I have a hard time choosing. Like,
Dude, I could.
Oh
see
yeah,
that
if
being
you have
an
three
issue.
different
Yeah.
shots, I'm like,
See,
well,
I'm
this
that
is
way,
better
like-
here and that's better over
yeah,
there.
as long as nothing is like inherently wrong or like egregiously out of place, like I have such a hard time choosing between shots that I prefer to get just one
take home.
one take hove to take the decision out of it for me. But like I think the shooting, we got together on Friday night for those listening and had like a dinner party.
Oh man, that calzone.
made calzones.
I ate a lot.
And
And there was ice cream cake.
ice cream cake.
I got to change
Shout out
my
to Phil,
lifestyle,
man.
man. I really got to change my
Phil,
lifestyle.
every time Phil brings something, I'm like, I'm mad at him.
Yeah,
right?
I know.
I'm like,
I thought about that today. I was like, why did I not take that?
we end up polishing that off.
Yeah, well, no, there was still like a one healthy slice left.
Well,
we just let it melt.
It's not. Well, me and Phil was eating, but it was like the Lady and the Tramp thing. But we're not Lady and the Tramp, so like it was one. We didn't want to break open another plate after Laura washed like 20 plates.
Yeah.
So me and Phil started digging in from my side, he digging in from his side, and in the middle. That's
Did you touch fork, so to speak?
As it started getting into
you-
like the double dipping.
Yeah.
Did your tongue or your what do they call the pieces of a fork that stick out?
pork.
Dude, what
No,
are they
prongs?
called?
Are they prongs? Did your prongs?
You fucking me up now.
Did your
Yeah.
prongs touch each other?
No, it didn't.
Yeah.
We
Make
made
a-
sure. That's why there
make
was
a
some
little-
cake left.
Some
I mean, that shit was-
awkward.
I licked the plate.
Yeah, you did.
I
lick
watched
your
you
plate.
do that.
That's a fact. So I was one thing I think it went super smooth. Like the shooting went super smooth.
And it was like even though we came staggered, like some of us, because I had to come after work, and then shoulders came.
It worked out perfect.
It worked like because like every time somebody came in, you shot, and then the next person came in and you shot.
Yeah, and then I had to get the one group shot, but it was like it seemed to go kind of like clockwork. And,
I think it's the organization. You already knew what everything was.
Yeah, and I had a shot list.
Yeah, that was sharp.
Yeah, so
that was sharp. That was a good way to maximize the time to get it all knocked out. There's some. I'm sure there's going to be some. You always do like a behind the scenes kind of thing.
Yes.
Yeah, there's one thing that we talked about that we ended up doing for me that I want the extended cut of that in slow motion.
Of the grapes,
of the thing that I wasn't going to say, but Bobby just said.
Oh, that's all right. That's all right.
Fine.
Without context,
yeah.
So Saturday I was feeling a little under the weather, and then Sunday I went to Hell House. So I went live on my Facebook when I was there because we're trying to be better about our social medias. But growing up where I grew up, there was this legend of this abandoned Catholic school that was kept by a groundskeeper. And as payment for him keeping the grounds, as it were, he was able to live there, kind of room rent free. Yep. And kids used to go up there all the time. And there was rumors that like he had shot some of them. He had Rottweilers that patrolled the grounds that he would unleash on people and all this stuff. And the rumor was that he was running a satanic cult out of it.
Satan.
And that there was an altar up there where they used to do like sacrifices
Altar.
And all this type of shit. Yeah.
Metal.
Have you been?
But so I always wanted to go. When I was in high school, like a freshman in high school, my buddy TJ picked me up in a Sanford & Son truck, and we went there. And when we got there, it was me, TJ, and I want to say Khalid. It was either Khalid or Kev. I can't remember, but it doesn't matter. We got up there. We get to these steps. These steps go on forever, right? They it's a climb to the top of this thing, so to speak. And we're heading up the steps, and we hear the dogs, like, and then we hear like sounds like cages opening and shit.
Chains. And
so we're like, we're gone.
Explosions.
So we ran out of there and hightailed it out of there and never went back. So the place, I think it used to catch on fire a lot because kids used to go up there and fuck around. And it was a huge ground. So, it would catch on fire all the time from kids hiding out when the Rottweilers weren't sick on them. So Laura said when we were juniors in high school, it burned to the ground. And that was the end of it. But the altar was still there. There was a cross on the altar that was still there supposedly and all this stuff. So when I was talking to Laura about locations for the music video, she was like, well, why don't you do Hell House? And I was like, oh, my God. Fucking perfect. So I went there and I got to see it. So it's kind of tricky because you make your way. You got to find a secret set of steps. And then after you find that secret set of steps, it takes you up to like a grassy landing. And then you see the big set of steps, which is obvious. And then when you get to the top of there, you kind of have to find your way around and hopefully find it. And I kept getting worried because I kept seeing rubble and stuff. I was like, oh, it's gone. It's, like there's no confirmation of this thing here past like 2017. It's gone. And we just kept walking and like looking around. And then lo and behold, we found the fucking altar. And like it has like this dragon painted around all the columns. There's like weird writing and shit all over it, but not like in a graffiti way, like in a purposeful, like
Blair Witch kind of way.
Yeah. And then there's like a poem. I'll read the poem.
These white people, I would never be walking around the woods looking for a fucking altar.
I'm going to read the poem because I was like,
Satan.
It said, I'm gonna type it into something and do a Google on it. But it says, time is just a flowing stream and it spares no one at all. As the man awaits his groom, destiny will take its toll. He is dressed only in black, hidden underneath his hood. Eternal peace it is his tomb. Wedding bells leg in to call. Come to him, take him away. Come to him from the sky. He is your forever. Take him from the sky.
Mike Kim.
So I have.
Sounds like my people's.
So anyway, but I'll be honest with you. And not that, and there's a couple other things up there. There's like there's a place where there's like a tunnel bored out, and you can. But I was uncomfortable getting in there. I was like, my luck, the fucking concrete will collapse for the first time in 100 years, and I'll fucking die.
Your
in there.
kids with you,
correct? Same. And there's like a rubble of an old building that you can kind of make your way around and stuff. There was a number of little interesting things, but the altar is definitely the kind of
It's safe and stuff, though, right? Safe as in like you can go there. You're not going to get in trouble.
yes, it is. It's on a park property now, so it's part of Patapsco
Because I'm
State
thinking
Park.
about like it's a good place for a photo shoot. Because
Yeah.
we're always on a good lookout for that.
Yeah, for sure.
So like we'll probably hit you up with directions.
At least I think it is. So like there is like a gate that prevents people from driving up this one part, but like it seems to me like it's just part of.
I mean, no one's there patrolling the fucking ground.
No, not
You
at all.
can
And there's multiple people
and
hiking.
there were no. Oh yeah, okay. So there were.
Yeah.
So that was a question. Did you run into other human
So
beings?
what we did, we did the video shoot and like we wrapped it all up and we're walking out and like all these people start coming up. I'm like, oh my god, just in the nick of time.
Yeah.
And Caleb had a funny ass comment on there. He was like, dude, he's like, what if people were there and you like doing like the altar thing and you walked up like wearing the mask and they're like, oh my god, it worked.
It's like, I need you guys to stand with your hands in a prayer behind me.
But it's not like doesn't seem like it's a place for people up to no good to hang out.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. I mean, there's obviously graffiti that goes on out there and probably some drug use and stuff.
That sounds like a long ass, Is there any easy way to get there to do your drugs or do your graffiti? I'm serious because I mean, path of least resistance, right? Why do you end up there just to do happenstance bullshit?
So I'm thinking it's probably the people that do that are probably kids, teenagers.
Yeah, it's a
like
cool place to be.
I'm gonna go so far in the woods
that they need a spot. So they're like they drive up there. You can park at this little spot, walk up, and
I want to check it out someday.
yeah, dude, I'll go back. I want to go back.
Like with a
Let's take a trip.
hoverboard.
Hey, let's take a trip.
With a hoverboard because I don't know if my knees can handle all these steps.
Yeah, it's crazy. The
I
staircase
might,
is crazy.
might have y'all drag me up.
And there's a no, that's not gonna happen. There's there's supposedly an abandoned town up there as well, but we couldn't find
That'll
that.
be badass.
Yeah, it's like the whole town used to be part of some like steel mill or something that used to be back there, and then like the steel mill closed, and they basically told the people they got to get out because they owned the property.
I would like to go visit that too, but we got to bring Dante.
So what you just
If he
described.
feels like there's something up to no good, I'm going with him because I'm not following your instincts.
So in Huntsville, in Alabama.
Where are you from?
Yeah.
God damn it! Who did this? Who did this to us? You better fucking speak up.
I want to feel the tension on the ball. Oh, you can get nice and slow with it.
Yeah, but it doesn't really affect the volume of the horn.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
It just makes a different sound. Huntsville was a mill town growing up. Not coming up, like in the early 1900s. It was a cotton mill. Surprise! And a couple other textiles, but they built housing for those people.
Those people.
Those people who worked in the mill.
Mill people.
Mill people. So like my great aunt, who she probably passed away in the last 10 years. Her and her husband worked at the mill, lived in the mill neighborhood, walked 10 minutes back and forth to work every day, and sat across each other like you and I are, Joe, for 40 fucking years.
That's amazing.
But just to say that the neighborhood, was for the mill, and there's like the Dallas Mill. There's a neighborhood there that's just all those mill houses.
Mill house.
Mill houses with
Nerdy kids with blue hair.
Big glasses, big nose.
That mill house.
Meek Mill.
Meek Mill. Meek Mill
Yeah.
definitely never lived in Alabama.
No, but he, you know what? He could have rode his fucking dirt bike on the street and nobody would have give a good goddamn.
Good point.
Sorry for the sidebar.
No. So
But those towns die when the
Well,
mill died, right?
Huntsville was lucky because the mills, the housing transitioned to So like the mill my family worked at is now a soccer field. They tore it all the way down. A couple of the other mills they have made into like the largest indoor artist space I think in the country is Low Mill in Huntsville. Got transformed into it's such a beautiful fucking place.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Like if I still live there,
In
I might
Alabama.
have a space in there. To be honest.
Who would thought Alabama and like biggest art place and
There's actually a surprising amount of culture on road and off road. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide. So, anyway, I do want to say this though. So when we got up there, it got cold.
I mean, Laura was dreading it the night before.
Well, but what I'm saying is like when we got to the altar, it was cold. Like, but it wasn't that cold. I feel like away from the altar.
Oh,
So
that's
that was
kind of cold.
that was a little weird. But for the most part, by and large, like I didn't like. And not that I'm a fucking expert on any of that shit or anything, but like I didn't pick up on any like negative vibes or energy or any of that. Like it just seemed
Which one's the dopest place?
like a regular place.
Yeah.
I got the wrong things to set up.
We'll fuck with it later. I just thought that would be a good time to do the
It would have been.
altar.
It would have been.
It's cold at the altar.
But like when I went to a couple.
What was that?
Cuckold.
Went to a cuckold party.
I went to a couple of places that were supposed to be fucked up, and like some of them I have gone into, and I'm like, oh, it's not right here.
Oh yeah, that was an abandoned military school we went to. Like,
yeah, I was like, this shit ain't right.
So my wife gets vibes like that.
Uh-huh.
Like down in Alabama. There's a place called Sloss
That
Furnace.
old soothsayer.
Yeah, there's a place in Birmingham called Sloss Furnace. It's SLOSS. It's a furnace that I think they've done steel work there and all this. It's still there in full capacity, although it's more of an event center. They do all sorts of, you can get married there and all this cool stuff. It's got some great views.
Weird flex.
Hang on. They do a haunted house there. It's actually, it's pretty good. If you like that kind of stuff. But her and I were walking, and we got about halfway through to where all these big industrial machines are. She's like, oh, this place is fucked up. This place is fucked up. So we like hurried through it. I'm like, what is it? She's like a lot of people have been killed in there. It's really fucked up. So she kind of gets vibes like that sometimes.
wow.
So yeah, the chills or whatnot. But she's like, nope, we got to go. We got to get the fuck out of here.
Wow. So like, yeah, I didn't pick up on anything though. Like I didn't feel any kind of way. Like it just felt fine. Like, yeah, nothing.
The altar, Bobby. Fuck the altar, Bobby.
But it was I can't explain exactly how rewarding it felt to like know of this legend like my whole life, and then see it.
Yeah.
Like it was some bucket list shit, like the pyramids and Hell House. You know, like you know what I'm saying? Like for me, growing up, I was like, man, I'm never gonna see this shit. I'm never going back because the dog scared the shit out of me. And
There's no reason to go.
And it's funny because I went at night, and I was like, I remember running down those steps. You know, and then like going there during the day, I'm like, no wonder I was afraid. I'm afraid walking up these steps, you know, like just because how steep they are. And I took a Joker pick on it.
that was nice with the Bane coat on.
So let me think what else. I did finish, and then I finished the music video that day, and I'm happy with it. So that's a big thing off my plate. I got to do the making of, and then I can get rid of all that shit. Well, get rid of all of it, right? So that is another question. So I'm not exactly sure what's going to go on with YouTube. Everybody's getting afraid now.
Yeah, the posts on the kind of jokey channels that are like, I hate to have to make this post.
Yeah.
But looks like shit's going to hit the fan. So. And it's some dudes I like Pixel Dan. I don't know if you guys, I'm sure people watch.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a
everybody
pretty
knows
big deal.
Yeah.
But he put out this kind of somber 20-minute, like, I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, Emgo did the same.
The real big channels I follow have not said a word about this.
I mean,
shit.
like The Amazing's posted. He's like, I'm going to keep posting videos till they tell me I can't anymore.
Well, so I am
basically what he said.
So that's my general. Well, so Anthony's Customs did one. Who, I like his reviews. I personally think that he's. Objectively, his objective opinion and source and wealth of knowledge regarding the subject matter is, I think, unparalleled. I think he knows more about the engineering and construction of toys than any other reviewer that I've come in contact with.
Even Justin?
Even Justin.
Wow.
Yeah. Now, that's not to say I agree with him, because I think a lot of times his opinions, like what the shit that people give me about fans' toys, like he needs to get that, in my opinion, tenfold with NECA. Like he will forgive NECA until the fucking cows come home, but he will, trash a Marvel Legend, where I'm like, man, that fucking Marvel Legend is a better made thing. It's not a better painted thing. It's not a better sculpted thing. And I'm not here fucking being Captain Save a Legend. You know what I mean? But like,
you really thought that out, right?
There you go.
But
you get that. You get that one.
But at the same time, like it's just like this is a better constructed, more reliable, more dependable thing, and the NECA thing looks better all day long, but it doesn't hold up.
Yeah, you don't. I know you guys really don't fuck with NECA much at all anymore, right?
Correct.
I mean, just
correct.
Out of happenstance and lack. I mean, like the big turtle. That was the last thing you bought, right? The big turtles.
Correct. And I'm probably going to go in on their cartoon turtles line.
Okay. Good luck. So I'll give them credit on one thing is they don't reuse molds a lot. So like obviously the alien predators are going to share a lot of DNA, but you know, like I'll give an example. Like I picked up super cheap. I think it was $5 on clearance at GameStop.
Well, the aliens for sure share the DNA because that one looked like a dog when it came out of
the dog. Yes.
Yeah.
And there was a bull alien
Chromosomes.
and a mantis alien. I remember those.
Oh yeah, I'm talking about the structure of the.
Oh, okay,
figures.
I get it. Continue.
I'm trying to remember where I
I'm
was.
sorry.
There's a pred alien too.
Yes, there's okay.
That's true.
So I picked up. I just like my new kind of thing with if I go into a toy show or something. I'm just looking for random like people in street clothes. I don't know why. I just think that's like I have a Napoleon Dynamite figure, and it's just.
I mean,
ridiculous.
like I went around and bought them for you in Japan.
Right. Yeah. Which maybe I'll open. I have to open any of that.
That's so bizarre.
Anyways, I wanted this figure because
you bought like
it was,
$200-300 worth of stuff and you didn't open any of it.
you don't know my life.
Yeah, you got more money than time. I got it.
No, well, only one of those is our most valuable commodity. Sorry. Oh, okay. I bought this figure. It was Barb from the first season of Stranger Things. Mm-hmm. You know, the kind of overweight girl with the flowery shirt. I opened it, and this is a recent release. This came out maybe 2-3 years ago. I immediately break the hand. Like I turn the wrist and it just pops off.
Yep, that doesn't
What
surprise
the fuck? So I just glued it on.
That doesn't
like
surprise
it didn't pop at the joint, like it broke.
No, it
off.
broke. Like the joint broke. So the time my purchase with them before would have been I bought some Pacific Rim. You know, living that phase life. Mm-hmm. They had like all the NECA Pacific Rim stuff at NJCC or something, and I asked the guy, "Hey, how much if I buy like one of each?" He's like $4 a piece. And it was like 6 figures. I'm like, sold. So I was opening them all to put on my Phase Life shelf for the rest of my with the rest of my
shelf.
with the rest of my Pacific Rim stuff, and literally like the knees just exploded out of the package. Like it crumbled. They crumbled. So I immediately threw them all away, and I raked all the Bandai stuff off into a box and threw it in the closet.
Wow,
I was so
Good for
frustrated.
parts.
Yeah, so
I just threw shit away. I was like, I don't even want to fuck with it. But there's a lot of people who swear by that company, and I can't speak for Anthony's because I don't think I've ever seen a video of his.
Is it because the sculpts like that? So if you just want to stand it there,
I think that it's because the sculpts are good, the paint is good,
so you can just stand it there,
and the price is low. Yeah. And that's not to say that Anthony's a cheap guy. Anthony appreciates the finer things in life for sure when it comes to collectibles, but I think he's forgiving of the build because of how cheap and good looking they are.
You know, and I'll argue on the price point. Like, I wanted to pick up the Mr. Miyagi figure just because it was so fucking random. Mm-hmm. It's $35.
Yeah, but that has soft goods.
Yeah, I guess. But, I mean, the regular stuff's in between 25 and 30.
It's true. But it's usually, I feel like, closer to 25. But I agree.
FYI, did you know Walmart now carries a NECA section like Target does?
Really?
Yeah, I haven't been in one that's stocked with this shit, but they, like, have the horror stuff. You know, like those flip with the window boxes and stuff.
Let me ask you,
Phase Life.
Since they were doing the Turtles, like they put out all 4 at once, like as 2 packs, like Michelangelo with Shredder, Donatello with
But now,
Foot Soldier, etc. Right?
Right.
How long can that line sustain with all 4 Turtles right out of the way?
Oh, well, now they're releasing 2 packs with 2 turtles in them and a Army Builder 2-pack of Foot Soldiers.
Okay, that might be what I'm talking about, actually. But so, either way,
yeah.
How long can that line sustain with just like Mondo Gecko and shit?
Well, I think,
but people that wants turtles want all those. Though.
I don't know.
I don't know if that's true or not.
I don't know if they.
I don't know
plan,
enough turtle collectors.
I don't know if they plan They plan for this to go on that long. I think it's on to the next one.
Yeah, I don't. But they have like so many announced,
right? But they've all got almost like all have some sort of direct connection to a turtle character, like in the 2-pack. So like Baxter Stockman seems to be one I know a lot of people that like don't even really fuck with turtles like that want that figure. Uh-huh. But I don't know who it comes with.
Yeah, or if it's going to be a 2-pack.
Oh, I see that hadn't been announced either. I don't know that. I mean, those are like $50 for the 2-packs. 25 a pop. Yeah.
So that's an interesting thing. But anyway, Anthony's Customs was like, look, I think it's going to have to get changed before January 1st. Because what happens is, if you say that he made a good point. He was like, if you say that your content is for kids, it's not searchable. You can't comment. Mm-hmm. It gets shadow banned, basically. And you can't monetize it, et cetera, et cetera. If you say that your shit is for kids, then it goes on the right. I mean, if you say it's not for kids, rather, then it goes. Did I say it right the first time?
Yeah,
okay. Hold on a second. Guys.
This sneeze is brought to you by Blue Apron.
If you say it's not for kids, then it goes into regular circulation, and then kids can see it.
Listen, the thing's got more. This sneeze is brought to you by Fans Toys. The Fans
Sherry's Berries.
Sherry's yeah. Edible arrangements. Do you like to send people that you love questionable fruit with chocolate on them and let it sit on their porch for 48 hours?
So basically what happens is, if you say that your shit is not for kids, then it's accessible to kids using YouTube.
Yes.
If you say that it is for kids, then it's no longer really accessible for kids on YouTube.
Listen,
but
Bobby,
it's on YouTube's part because kids shouldn't have access to things that aren't meant for kids.
Correct.
So that's not on YouTube or the creator. That's on the fucking parents.
Correct.
This strategy has more holes than the Unicron crowdfunding. I mean, it makes no sense.
No, it's too up for interpretation. First of all,
But they're talking about a $42,000 fine per video.
it's fucking dumb.
Based on what? Because so the way I understand it is,
And they're like-
you have to go, because I even got this on my piddly little Crashbox YouTube with 5 videos and 300 subscribers. Weird flex, but okay. I even got an email that said you have to go on and say, is this stuff for under 13,
Right.
for everybody, or for over 13?
Right.
Right. So, and let's say that you check over 13, because I'm assuming you're not really trying to hit up those,
Right.
one step changer kids.
Right.
You check that box. Now, every time you post a video, you have to, the way I understand it, you're going to have to check that box again just to validate that. And then they have an algorithm that's going to make the decision ultimately for you anyways. How the fuck are they finding anybody?
Right.
That doesn't make any sense.
Nope.
I don't know. But I think that they're going to have to make some adjustments. But
'Cause
it's whether or not an I or any creator is going to stick around long enough for the adjustments to be made.
And here's the thing I haven't heard anybody talk about, and I'm sure somebody has said this. YouTube isn't the bad guy here.
No,
it's their bad. It was their bad the way it was handled from the original outset. But they're going to lose money on this too.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
And that's the
They
thing.
lose
A lot
money
of
for everyone
people,
who's losing money.
it's evil. Fuck you, YouTube. Yeah, I get that. But they're going to lose money too. So whatever, Bobby makes,
because they want to monetize everything.
Bobby makes $4,000 a month off YouTube, right? They want their $4,000. That's
Right,
pretty close,
right.
right? Pretty
Yeah,
close.
yeah. I mean,
I think you're
it's actually-
lowballing it, but
Okay.
Oh,
But I'm saying,
relax.
I mean, is it 50-50? Is that what?
No, it's 40-60 creator.
Okay. So they're missing out on their 30. Somebody with
Right.
better math than me,
Right.
Joe.
why me?
So my 100
Because you're Asian.
my $100 a month, I get 60 of.
Okay.
But I agree. But see, I think everybody is to blame, right? So you're not supposed to be creating content for people under the age of 13. So if you're doing videos like whoa, kids,
And there's a whole industry.
time to make some slime.
There's
then,
a whole.
Then yes, you're wrong.
So that's what I'm
Just
saying.
for
If you're
the
not
record.
doing that, you shouldn't have to worry about being fined anyway.
So I
you might
agree
have to worry about being demonetized.
So I agree with that as well. But then it's YouTube's fault for allowing that. When okay, clearly you have content aimed at children.
Sure.
And then it is also the parents' fault for giving the phones to the kids, of course. And then it is
Not Steve Jobs' fault. You know that. It wasn't for him.
But so I think everybody shares a little bit of the blame. What I do think is bullshit is somehow YouTube has found a way to fucking wheel and deal with the United States government to say, well, look, we're going to do our end, but at this point, you and I can both agree we should really be blaming the guy at home with the camcorder, right? I mean, you agree with that, right, Uncle Sam? And Uncle Sam's like, oh, yeah, that? Oh, yeah, you and I are the same. I'm paddling your canoe with that one. Where the fuck does that come from? Who the fuck in their right mind would say that that's the right choice?
No, that's not, because it's just a platform and you're just uploading. It's not up to you who's watching your shit.
Yeah, if
At the end of
I'm
the day.
making a video that's clearly not for kids, and I'm putting it on my channel, and then telling YouTube this is not for kids, and then kids see it, how the fuck is that my fault?
Yeah, it shouldn't be.
Yeah.
But are we at the point where we have to worry about that yet? It's just the idea that there's
Very
possibly
soon.
it's
January 1.
It's the idea that it can possibly happen that's the worry, right? But I think that's going to
But
be
people's shit's already getting flagged.
getting flagged, but not getting fined. And
No, but getting demonetized.
So
Right.
I think it might be worth. I don't know. Maybe I'll try somebody that doesn't have a ton to lose like yourself. Maybe on my Piddly account, I'll play some games. I'll upload some bullshit videos and just check them wrong on purpose just to see what happens. I mean, I seriously doubt they're going to be coming for me.
Well, what's funny is I don't even know if they're going after the video game people.
See, that's like okay.
because of money.
Do you know?
It's huge, but also is man.
I
Well,
actually
see, so what's not for kids?
That's the question.
So pictures
that
of
can be monetized.
video of police chases. Kids like police cars.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of kids that want to be a policeman when they
Hey,
grow up. Or-
hey, shake hands with danger. That could be aimed for children. My
could
little
be.
boy loves him. He loves a D5 Caterpillar, man. His granddaddy has one.
What about like NASCAR stuff?
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide. So like kids like cars, kids like race. You know what I mean? Like, so what's to prevent that kid from watching? Why is that not aimed at children?
and then there's so many content that can or is intended for children that's been repurposed for adult use. Like how much SpongeBob memes are there that's adults?
Right, and there's a whole
right.
like Peppa Pig thing where
Right.
you re-edit, which my daughter watches. I mean,
So-
Star Wars. Let's be honest, is marketed towards children.
Yeah,
but
I think that
your conversations aren't marketed towards
Correct.
Maybe some really deep thinkers.
That's the problem with the algorithm. There's no one fucking. It's impossible.
fucking
for
Al Gore, man.
It's
That
impossible
rhythm.
for someone for people.
Al Gore's rhythm.
That's how we got Tipper pregnant.
Oh my god!
Al Gore rhythm. That's why I hate math.
But they can't have a live
Good.
person watching every video, or not even a quarter of the video.
No.
Right.
They can't.
So,
like-
it's going to be a machine. But like, here's the thing: they're like, we understand that you might, like YouTube says this, right? Like
Yeah.
when you click, we understand that you might have some questions about it. We don't know, so we advise that you ask your lawyer.
Yeah. that's-
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, everybody I've listened to about this has said that, yeah, you can go to another platform, but this is going to happen to pretty much everything except for paid subscription services.
Right.
So I think,
So I mean, everybody's moving. It looks like everybody's getting ready to shift to Patreon, right? Ben's Collectibles put out a video, and apparently he said he's going to Patreon. I watched the MGO video. He brings up Patreon, and he even says in the video that he like his. I guess he has trashed Patreon in the past. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
he's like, and you're going to call me a hypocrite, and I am a hypocrite. But things are tied. The things have changed. Which if I were him, I wouldn't even get caught up in that bullshit. Just do what you want to do, Mac. And
Right.
people change, opinions change. Just roll with it. But yeah, I mean, and then but then the funny thing is the competition, right? And I don't mean like I don't really mean active competition, but like
To what?
so let's take myself out of it, right? MGO has 400,000 subscribers, and now he's taking all of his stuff to Patreon, and Deluxe has 2,000 subscribers, I think, and he goes to Patreon as well. Now, where's the overlap? Which of Deluxe's viewers are also watching MGO, and where do they go?
So here's a question I have about Patreon. This is just my ignorance because I haven't used it from the creator side at all. Can you just post free content on there?
Yes.
Okay. And then you can just basically.
But you won't
entice-
monitor. You can't. You're not monitoring.
You're not
monetized.
right. So you maybe put a video out a week on that platform. It's like, hey, if you want to see the rest, here's a quick here's what we did this week on Patreon. It's only this much.
Yeah, you could do
And
that.
that's basically what you're going to have to soft shoe your way around it.
I think jumping ship is a wrong move. That's a knee jerk reaction. It's probably going to be bad. It's going to be a growing period, but because we understand that YouTube wants to make money too, it's going to get better. I'm
agree.
I'm not a YouTube creator, but I'm confident. Yes, this shit is not going to be nice for anybody, but it's going to get better because there's incentive for it to get better.
I agree, but what happens if I get hit with $4 billion in charges from my 2,000 videos that are on YouTube that are carrying $42,000 price point fees? You know what I mean?
That's an extreme hypothetical.
Of course, and I don't believe that will happen either. But like, what in the universe where that does happen?
That's like that one lady that went to jail for the Napster thing for stealing music.
Right.
Did you ever hear about the mass prosecutions?
No, but
that one lady.
I think my catching computer aids was plenty punishment.
Oh
for me.
man, listen,
Yeah.
LimeWire, buddy.
Yes.
Listen,
LimeWire Lite. It's supposed to be better. But
I
it's
will
not.
I will take your aids so I can listen to the new Smash Mouth album.
Yes, basically.
what I mean, so yeah, that it was only that one woman, let's say. But what about that one woman?
I mean, we fly, right?
That one
We
woman.
drive.
That one woman's. Yeah.
See, that
true,
was
true.
but that was before the GoFundMe days. She would have gotten her shit covered
maybe
in a heartbeat.
But like,
But like, if you,
I don't want to be the sacrificial lamb.
No, but and you're also not the person whose livelihood depends on YouTube.
Correct. So that's another thing.
And that exactly. Yeah.
And like, I mean, I follow a good amount of YouTubers, and none of the people I follow, the big people I follow, talk about any changes or talk about this at all because I don't think it affects them.
So I don't watch any of this
because I think the content, first of all, is fine. And second of all, I think like they don't make their living off of the paycheck from YouTube alone. They have diversified the bonds.
So I will use an example of this. It's FGTV is the name of the account, and I think they've actually got 4 or 5 different accounts. But it's a guy. It's probably our age, in 30s, 40s, and his family. He's 3 or 4 kids. And, they've done gaming. They've done all this crazy stuff where they run around their house with, water guns and put bubbles in the swim, all this crazy shit. But and Charlie really likes this chat. It's actually entertaining. The guy actually, I think they probably have 6 or 7. No, he actually said they have 7 people that work for him. Mm-hmm. And the editing they do, he writes like his own music and he makes these silly rap songs about, Minecraft or Granny's closet or attic or whatever fucking game they're playing that week. But I've noticed, like in the YouTube world, I think one of the Paul brothers fought some other dude in a boxing match recently, KSI or KSO, excuse me for not knowing this, and it was a big deal in the YouTube's stratosphere. And like him and his son went to the fight, and they showed like all sorts of footage of them being at the fight and meeting fans and all this stuff. I'm like, okay, I see what they're doing. So they're trying to do different shit that's not just them, screaming at video games all day.
Right.
So it's almost like, and look, I'll give them credit. They've got a built-in network. They actually have toys at fucking Walmart. But they've got a Patreon. And a lot of these guys have Patreon and they've got merch. So they've almost predicted this. I mean, Bobby, I'll say you've done a great job cushioning yourself to this, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I know it'll be a blow and it'll be a time for reorganization and change, but you've got the Patreon set up. You've got this platform. You've got hoodies, T-shirts, lots of T-shirts. And I mean,
tank tops.
Tank tops. And then honestly, you've got your artwork stuff. So you seem to be as diversified as somebody could be at the level you are.
Right.
In my opinion.
No, I agree. And
that's backhanded compliment.
No.
At your level.
No, it's not. I mean,
I know.
I didn't do that seeing this coming. But,
that's just your.
That's just my nature.
Yeah.
But like, the one thing is that'd be it's not that I'm wishing for this to happen, but if it does happen, right? Like my Patreon base is that they can all, for the review shit, they can go anywhere right now for free. Mm-hmm. So I don't have to worry about that. Yeah. I don't have to worry about my competitors in that regard. They can do whatever they want right now. But what is nice, and I'm not, like I said, I want to reiterate, I'm not wishing for this to happen. But if it does happen, the Patreon people, they want to be there. Mm-hmm. They want the content.
Yeah.
So like, gone will be the days when I wake up in the morning, grab my phone before I even get a cup of coffee, Joseph, before my poor...
Did you fold yours in your cup?
Yes. Before I even allow that opportunity and have to see, you complain too much and gave this excellent prime and unfair review. What you need to do is go to Watafa's channel so you can get the real transformation in every step. I just got mine. I had no issues whatsoever. In fact, I was very happy, and I enjoyed every second of it. You sound like a big fat baby complaining in a skull mask, acting and sounding like a sissy bitch. I grew up in the era of Transformers. You need to pay homage and respect. Straighten up and get your facts right, bitch.
That's not okay.
That's sweet.
Right?
Does he have a
I feel
YouTube
away
channel?
about that right now.
Does he have a YouTube channel?
No, yes, he does. And he's got one. He's got one video of I think a beat that he's made.
Is it trash?
It's terrible.
Is it a trap beat?
No, it's kind of like electronic.
No, it's trash.
But almost yoga-y. It doesn't matter.
Why don't you say that shit in real person?
No, I mean,
that's the thing. That to me, that's.
But what I'm saying is that goes away.
Yeah, no, it does.
That goes away.
Absolutely.
They're gone are those days.
Yeah.
Because why? If you, I don't think there's anybody that hates me enough to spend $5 a month to hate me.
I mean, that would be great.
Yeah, that's fine.
That would be the ultimate. That would be the ultimate monetization of yourself.
If I could have one of those dunks, I'd be in a dunk thing, and you throw the ball, and the ball.
Dude. All right. Listen, I know we got plenty of artists out there. Somebody that's can do some flash stuff. We need a Bobby dunk tank game. Put that together. Actually, might know a guy.
So
I mean, people do like it's weird because you get people who watch your videos and complain, but they watch every video and complain on every video, so they're your biggest fans.
No, I mean, honestly, like all the things the guy complained about, other than calling you out your name there, is, I mean, the response to that is, I appreciate you noticing all of these things add to the overall charm that is Bobby Skullface.
Well, my thing is just
my
like
ham-fistedness.
Well, I'm just like, dude, how long did it? Because he like capitalized every word.
Like, what? That's trash.
Yeah, and I was like, dude, how long? I didn't respond to it, but if I were to respond to it, it's honestly, this is where I'm at with some of this shit now. Like, it wasn't even worth the time to go to the fucking comment to respond or to delete or to do anything. Like, it's just
it's not worth the energy.
It's just not worth the energy. Like, so. But my response would have been just simply, dude, how long did it take you to just capitalize every word of this fucking comment?
Or you need to really get your auto fill thing fixed because it's fucked up.
Yeah. But anyway, like gone would be those days, which is nice. Would be a bonus, you know. But we'll see how it shakes out. I'm watching it closely, you know, as we airing this last month. But like some of the stuff, like I'm going to go in and I'm going to make sure I get some of the videos that are important to me in case they terminate my channel. You know, like if they just shut it down. Like I want to, like I got kid shit on there that's like private, you know, that I just uploaded just to have a safe storage space for it.
You guys ever want a treat? I did this the other day.
Let me just say real quick, kid shit is in kids like opening gifts on Christmas and like their birthday parties, stuff like that. Not anything stupid or weird.
Go to Bobby's
Fucking
channel
weirdos.
and sort by oldest video first. It's fun.
He did drawings in the beginning.
That's true.
Just coloring pictures.
That's true.
Shit, that's expensive.
So what else? Mandalorian, but we'll kind of have a little discussion about that. And then I think that's pretty much it for me. Oh, I've been reorganizing some stuff in the basement. You got a space set aside now for Maja cases, and a couple logistical things haven't quite worked themselves out yet, but I'm getting close.
Hit him up on the Black Friday sale.
I did want to ask you a question about it. You had mentioned to me this past Friday that you had listened to the Reagan episodes of The Dollar. So what was your opinion on... Oh, let me ask you a question first. Was this your first foray into these gentlemen?
Yes.
Okay.
So here's the thing about it. Whoa.
Ladies and gentlemen, Joe just took his pants off.
There's a fact. Now Chris is taking his shirt off. So it's getting ready to be a party.
Actually, it's really fucking hot in here.
So here's the thing: is I liked the content of the show, and I need to go back and listen to it. But I found some of the jokes to be too frequent and distracting, or I had a hard time focusing on the content.
Yeah. Like a Marvel movie.
Yeah.
To an extent, I understand what you're saying because I get aggravated with it too sometimes.
And some of the jokes were good, like they were funny, made me laugh, etc. But it was too much.
And I will tell you, Patton Oswalt was a guest on there, and I enjoy him. But sometimes between him and I think Gareth, not the straight man, it is a bit overwhelming.
Yeah,
it's like because there's jokes on jokes and jokes.
But some of it was shocking. Like,
oh, dude,
I was seriously looking down at my phone, like.
Well, like I didn't realize that he was behind all the stuff that happened at Berkeley. Yeah. Back in the 60s.
Yep.
I didn't realize he was involved so closely with that.
Or that Nancy Reagan's head game was so strong.
Dude. I wonder what 50s and 60s head looks like.
They said she felt like a tongue blender.
Oh wow.
That's what they said.
Actually, I read somewhere that Nancy Reagan had the first reported case of a pierced tongue. I'm just fucking.
No, I was going to say that would be crazy. So I moved some stuff around. I brought in the SH Figuarts in here. And I'm enjoying the burst of color that they're offering.
Bobby, I just have one.
Which you fought me on, by the way.
Because I think I'm going to need 2 shows.
I just have one question. Where did Savage Dragon go? I don't see. Savage Dragon.
He's sitting out there. I don't know what I'm going to do with all that stuff yet.
I have a challenge for somebody out there. I know we have a lot of talented people listening. I need somebody to take a WWE wrestling figure of The Rock wearing pants. He has to be wearing pants, but shirtless. And I need that to be a Savage Dragon figure. Somebody can do that for me.
And I brought in the Marvel SH Figuarts stuff.
See, I like that. I like that in here.
I like seeing them all together. It feels good to see them all together, as opposed to split up between 2 shelves. Like,
it gives it more of a presence on the shelf for sure.
Yeah. So that's where I'm at, and then I'm making some room for some furniture. Got some ideas.
Also, Mason said thanks, but no thanks.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. No problem. Joe, your Nerd Week.
Oh shit! I forgot.
And I watched Toys That Made Us.
I haven't started yet. How was that?
Did you watch all 4?
No, I watched the Turtles episode. which was sad. Bummed me the fuck out. Yeah. Like,
yeah.
And then I watched.
I don't want to be spoilery.
spoilers.
Yeah, on that one.
I
at least.
started watching the wrestling one, but I fell asleep.
Sounds
Not because I was bored, but because I was tired. But yeah, I was the turtle one, man. Like the ups and downs of their friendship and the money and the licensing and all that was more fascinating. But this is my complaint with all of the toys that made us shit. They don't take you through the modern era.
Understand?
You know, they're
Felt
all
the same.
they spend so much time.
They get really close on some of it.
Some of it, agreed.
but not all of it.
But like, there's so much left to uncover. Like, they didn't get into any of the NECA stuff. Like the fact that Turtles is licensed across like 3 or 4 companies now. Like that's my complaint is that like I don't know if. And I wish and this is not a personal attack on him. He's friend of the shows and so forth. He was on Enter the Realm. He was on Toy Detox. But like, my question for him would be like, are you a collector now, or did toys just mean a lot to you when you were a kid? Because it doesn't seem like you have any interest in what's going on now.
Maybe it's not interesting like that now.
Maybe.
I mean, maybe it's just like because right now it's like, oh, this company and this company and this company have license and they make this. Like, what is there really a story to it now?
Well, I think maybe just seeing some of the evolution.
So
would be like, look, this was the first figure. It had 5 points of articulation. Here's some of the modern stuff.
But I mean, is that what they're about? About the story? They're not really about the.
Well, so I think that's a fair point, but they cover a lot on that episode that's more about a documentary about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and not about the toys. So, like, what is the show about?
Right. I mean, it's like that He-Man show.
Right.
Like they should have had one of those for Turtles.
Well, and the He-Man's even a little bit different because that at least
that covered through the movies
was entirely a toy thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Toy-centric thing.
Yeah.
So,
where Turtles like started in the comics, so they go through all the comic book origins and then they get to the toys. And it's like, well, dude, the show shouldn't be about the comic book origins if we're just going to talk about the toys and we're just going to talk about how they made us. So we're going to talk about it in a nostalgic look. Then don't talk about the new shit at all. Because they cover some of like not the Reveltech, but like the later on Playmate stuff. So like I feel like the focus of that show is it's not narrow enough and not broad enough.
So when we talked to him on, and I'll just plug this, Enter the Realm, episode 222. Unfortunately, we only got 30 minutes with him, so it was a pre-recorded segment that we dropped in the show. But for audio listening, it works just fine. He did say that it's story. They're looking for a story to tell.
Right, and I heard that. And he said that Mask had none. Which
Mask doesn't have a story. I mean, it's like, we're going to do this. Okay, let's go. Yeah. So.
Which is what before like Toys have made us. You assume that is the way. It's like a business. We're gonna make some products and we're gonna make it.
Right,
successful or not.
Well, I even think I think Mask was just as simple as it sells G.I. Joe and Transformers. Let's make G.I. Joes that sit in Transformers.
Right.
But anyway, I'm sorry. Okay, continue.
We picked up back on Clone Wars again on Bobby's Disney Plus.
Nice.
We stayed up to like 1:30 in the morning last night. Finished season 5.
You're already at the season 5.
We're starting season 6 tonight.
Wow, I mean you're flying through this.
What show is this?
I mean we
What show?
Clone Wars.
Okay.
I mean we were watching it a while ago, but like we do it in bursts. Like we get distracted watching something else, forget about it, and we come back. So like we were already early on in season 5, but we watched like fucking.
So you didn't start at season 1.
No.
Okay.
No, not last night.
Right.
No, we started like early season 5 last night. We watched like fucking 10 episodes or some shit like that.
That's all.
But it's great.
Yeah,
they killed everybody in season 5, and
those later fucking seasons of Clone Wars are so good.
Yeah, it gets real serious.
I remember like watching that, and I haven't watched it. I haven't watched it in a very long time, but. I guess season 2, it kind of got a little darker, and everything kind of tied in together with the sisters and all that. It got, I don't know, it just seemed to be like they had figured out they weren't going after that 8-year-old audience.
Season 2 was when they started sprinkling, and by season 3 they had found their lane.
Yeah, when they start getting down into like the daily lives of a clone thing. Like, oh, that's not something that's lighthearted.
Yeah.
But like Jedi was just dumb. I'm glad I got rid of it. That like the whole era is right. What Kylo says is right. All that shit is dumb.
Yeah.
Dark side, light side, all of it.
I also keep thinking of things. I picked up Jedi Fallen Order, and I've played 2 levels. So.
I just want to watch all the clips.
Yeah.
Game Addicts.
Is that on?
Yeah, it's a YouTube thing. Like, there's lots of games where you can just. It's not even a let's play. They just cut all the cinematics together and with minimal playthrough to like connect the stories, and you watch it like a movie.
So So is this canon? Is this story canon, Bobby?
Who fucking knows?
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess there's only one way to finish the game.
Asajj has become like one of my favorite characters.
Yeah, she's cool.
I want her and Ahsoka to just go off and do her own thing, being bad bitches.
Not that your level of interest reaches the point where you would read the book, but there's a book called Dark Disciple that's about Quinlan Vos after Order 66 and deals heavily with Asajj, and it is my second favorite Star Wars novel since the Disney buyout. Like, it's really well done because they don't have to worry about where those characters go. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So it's really good.
So, yeah, quite enjoying it. And, let's see. That might be all I did. There's a few other things, but I don't think they have interest in the show. Oh, I had a real bad day the other day because
you have to talk into both mics.
Do you have morning rituals?
Yes, of course.
You ever find that, like, if you're in a rush or something and you miss one of those and you just fucks up the rest of the day?
Yep.
I'm not really like that.
So I have to get off every morning.
Okay.
One way or another.
Okay.
With or without help.
Okay.
I just did not get an opportunity to, and I was just fucking angry for the rest of the day. And that seems real petty. I was thinking to myself, why am I being so fucking petty?
Why didn't you
It's
just
such
go
a
in the
stupid
bathroom
little
real
thing.
quick? Rub one out.
I don't have that opportunity at work.
Oh, come on.
I mean, I don't even get to eat at work a lot of times. So
They're taking advantage of you.
and I felt bad for the.
If you can't have time to eat or do anything else.
What are your morning rituals?
I get off first,
Okay.
and then I brush my teeth, take a shower.
Brush your teeth before the shower, do you?
Mm-hmm.
I've been toying with the idea of brushing my teeth in the shower.
Oh, really?
Wow. I'll tell you something I did.
Well, I go to the bathroom first. I mean, I get off and you finish up with everything. Shit,
Okay.
if you got to shit, piss, you got to piss. And then
I can never shit that early.
Dude, you know what? You know what a perfect day for me is? Wake up, coffee, shit, shower, but it never lines up.
Yeah.
And I hate shitting after a shower.
no, you might as well just start your whole day
Because, you know,
over.
I stand up when I wipe, so it's a whole fiasco from there.
Stand up on your wife.
We've had these conversations before.
Do you have to hit a 45-degree angle? Or you stand straight
bend
up?
over to the front and
Yeah.
touch your toes? Yeah. No, I mean, think about, I just can't. I had this conversation.
Yeah, the
before.
logistics
The
of it.
logistics don't work out, man. I need a spotter if I'm going to do that. I need to get a handicap rail built in my bathroom at home.
That's wild.
But that it almost never happens for me. You know, it's normally just, get up, and it depends on what I got going on. That because I don't have the same routine that you guys do as far as.
So I have
to
different.
get up and go every day.
Obviously, the
It's
days when
different
you
stuff.
don't work is different than the days when you do work.
Obviously, yes. But on your days off, do you have?
No, my
a
days
ritual?
off are kind of a willy-nilly.
Okay.
But my days working, always identical.
TM up. My days working are different every day.
Right.
I mean, I'm in a different hotel or.
I wake up, bathroom. Actually, let's break it down. So, winter month, right? I wake up, I go into the bathroom, start the shower, hit. I got a little.
I started a shower before because to get hot.
Yep. I hit the little space heater. I got a little space
you got
heater in
space
there.
heater?
Then
That's dangerous.
It's like it's cheesy. It's like it does the trick, but it doesn't.
we have a couple of those.
It doesn't get
little-
hot enough to
little
cause
ones.
me.
No.
Then I go to the bathroom. Then I get right in the shower. I usually have to shave my head. So I shave my head, shave my face, wash the important bits, and then I hop out. And then I get dressed, beater, drawers, socks, pants, shirt, same way every time. And then I brush my teeth, turn off all the heaters and shit, head on downstairs. My wife has a cup of coffee waiting for me. I try to get a couple sips in with her before I leave for work. And that's my day.
How long does it take between you getting out of bed to you heading out the door?
I get out of bed at 4:45. I'm out the door at 5:15.
Okay.
30 minutes.
30?
No. I'm just saying. That's
Yeah,
30
yeah.
minutes.
Yeah.
What about you? What's yours?
About 15.
So it depends if I'm shaving or not. If I'm not having to shave or just
Oh, that's actually
chose,
like 10 seconds. For
chose
me.
not to. So I mean, not like you guys saw me this weekend. I kind of let it go on purpose to give,
Right.
give that little bit of a vibe. So today I had to clean all this shit up, and it took fucking forever. But most of the time. If I need to be out to the here's my deal. Most of the time when I'm heading out the door early, I'm gonna have a suitcase in tow, so I'm gonna have to pre-pack at night and try not to wake people up. So it's a whole nother thing. But if it's just I'm gonna get up and say I need we're gonna do something at 8:00. I need to get up. I just get up, take a shower, try to take a shit, and maybe grab coffee, maybe not.
I have no chance of ever taking a shit before. I need to be up.
What time's your first?
So usually, if I go to work, I'm getting up at 4:45. My first shit will be around 8:30.
Damn.
Yeah.
What about you?
in the morning.
So you like clockwork.
Not clockwork, but like most in the morning.
So like if
If not, then I'll wait till I go home at night.
I drank a lot when I was over here the other night, and like the next morning I was very liquid. To say that. So I did go several times, but like on a regular. No, I'm that. Normally, if I drink a cup of coffee and a bottle of water, like if I'm in a hotel, get up at 6:30 or whatever, and I don't have to be anywhere until like 9 or 10, I'll have time to. If I drink a cup of coffee and a bottle of water, then I can kind of motivate the world to go. This has been BM's
So
the NRR BM special.
how was your nerd week, Chris?
Oh, well, I shit a lot apparently.
Yes.
But not when I wanted to.
Oh, and I'm still doing 40K stuff. More 40K stuff coming out.
You what did what?
I'm still building 40K stuff. Still deep into it. They're still coming up with great shit, great new models, great new books coming out.
Nice. Are they getting ready to reboot?
It's like I doubt it, but like they're hinting that it could be like with the new stuff that's coming out. They're making it sound like there's going to be a big shakeup. And I mean, they've been saying that for 30 years and nothing ever happens. But like a couple years ago, it did. There was a huge fucking world change. The galaxy changed.
Do
2 years
they
ago.
need to do that? Do you think?
I think so only because the way the world is set up, right? Nothing can change. You have to be status. You have to be, half minute till midnight kind of thing in order for you to keep selling the game.
Right.
Like, because if the next thing happens, it's going to end everything.
Yeah.
So, like, if they don't have to worry about that, if they have a reboot up their sleeves, then they could move the fucking story and give us closure that I've been waiting for 30 years, and then start a new thing.
Well, but the other side of that is, do you really want to lose the people that have been waiting for 30 years?
Right.
Because they're still showing up to hear that same.
How do you captivate a new audience?
No, but I'm saying,
keeping
like-
your old.
But like if it, like they did with they did that with not 40K, just regular Warhammer. They did that, and it's hugely successful. It's much better.
Okay.
I think it's much better than before Age of Sigmar.
Yeah.
So like it ended the old world. Everybody died. Like they had books where they covered all the characters. This guy died, and then that guy died, and then the fucking universe exploded. And now there's a new world, and I think they captured a new audience with that, and all the new models are better.
This is a dumb question, and just forgive my ignorance because I just don't know the tabletop gaming world. So, outside of Warhammer and 40K, do all these other games people play have a fiction as rich as that does with the novels and stuff, or at all?
No. I mean D&D.
Well, obviously
they have tons of books, but like I don't know if because it's 30 years of lore, right?
Yeah.
And I don't think anything else has been around that long. There's a lot of like tabletop games based off of like World War II and stuff, and that's the lore.
Well, that story's kind of written. I guess it depends on who's access.
Head canon.
Well, in my head canon,
But like all these other world games have lore, and and the ongoing ones do have additional lore, but none of them are set up like 40K, where like everything's on the precipice about to fucking go one way or another. Like these other games just have regular stories. This is what's going on. This is the conflict. This is the next conflict, and the story does progress with no issue of where it's going next.
Right. That'd be interesting to see. I think a reboot could serve that universe well. I wonder.
Yes.
I wonder what.
Well,
I wonder what Adam's opinion is on a reboot of 40K universe.
I think he's given up on 40K. He's living the 30K life.
Oh, that's true. Well, I mean,
Like, he doesn't like where the direction is going.
So hang on, ignorance again.
30K is
I know it's different. It's 10,000 years before.
Correct.
Yeah.
It's a
So like
prequel, so to speak.
if we're reading a World War II story, they're playing World War One.
I got it.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a great way to put that. That makes sense.
And
Oh, my bad. I thought you were done when you said.
that's fine. And I wanted to quickly touch on a thing that I follow. I don't know if anybody knows about it. It's called SCP. It's
So they rap and they wear clown makeup.
You've got
that's ICP.
Oh, okay.
No, this is special containment something, but it's like a community project, right? It's a wiki, and it's full of short stories, and a community. It's free. Anyone can write, but there are people who upvotes or downvotes it, and there is a canon. And there's a lot of branches of it all over the world. It's pretty big.
Okay.
And if you're into it, there's tons of YouTube content on it. Someone in Russia is currently, for the second time, trying to copyright their Russian branch of this community thing. And now they're raising money to fight legal battles to fight this guy from trying to trademark something that shouldn't be trademarked.
That's interesting.
I mean, like, but it brings me to think about when you and Adam talked about how if something lives on long enough, it should be the public's and shouldn't be trademarkable. And I'm like, I didn't used to have to think about that, but now I'm like, yeah, maybe it does. Because I was always on the thing of, if you made it, that should be yours. You get to have the final say. Like, no one should be able to overwrite what you wrote because you made the thing.
Yeah, it's just the question of ownership. How long should you have 100% ownership of something? And it's tricky. You know,
because you came up with it. That's your fucking thing.
But that's that Mickey Mouse shit, man.
Exactly.
Like, yeah.
I mean, that even goes out. Like, I was gonna maybe mention this today. So, I've actually had people that are, I won't say they're blatantly ripping me off, but some of my designs I've put out recently, I had one guy that was, he's like, hey, I'm, made this office, as a direct influence from Crashbox. Mm. And then the way I did that one with the unfinished sheetrock, I'd never really seen anybody else do that, but I've seen a lot of it since then. I don't know. It just kind of makes me feel a way about it, but it's kind of like humbling at one side, and the other it's like, oh.
And flattering.
Yeah. And the other side, you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I mean, that makes you not. It's like you had this little voice in your head that's like, man, I'm gonna stop sharing how I do this shit, or
honestly, part of it is, but I almost want to say, hey, dude, if you just sanded all this shit down, it would look great, because nobody leaves it like that.
Chris is outside.
Okay, I'll pause it. All right, Joe, and we have Krista joining us as well now. Hello.
Into
front. Yeah, it's
hello.
Yeah, trust me. I tell Laura all the time. Yeah, like I do.
And lastly, like I've been having a thought question recently, almost weekly. Because I've been on this Aladdin live action kick, right?
Oh my god.
Live. What do you mean with live action?
The Will Smith movie with Aladdin.
He doesn't have to rap.
He has a rap. He has a rap at the end.
Does he cuss?
Does he rap at the end?
Yeah,
he does rap at the end. He does not.
Is it about the content of the like?
Of course.
God, it's so good when he does that, like Wild Wild West.
Oh, Men in Black. Is that Men in Black?
Yes, dude.
It's
gone are those days. I
not gone are those days. It's here. We're
no,
here.
I know, but I wish he did them for like a Pursuit of Happiness. I want a Pursuit of Happiness rap. I want
7 pounds rap.
7 pounds rap.
I don't think he does sad raps.
No, I want that.
You want a sad Will Smith?
Yeah, sad Will Smith.
What's a zombie?
Dude, you gotta let me.
Dude, I Am Legend.
Does he want
to take this sad Will
man.
Smith? He does a good job at.
Does he
want
to take a career to the next level or not? Is the question.
What about
Suicide Squad?
Yeah,
an After Earth rap. Wasn't that the one with his
kid?
Gemini.
Yeah. Gemini is a new one.
Right, but what was the one with just literally him and his kid the whole time?
Yeah, that's after
flying around the planet.
Yeah.
They had girls singing on the hook. You've been a mistake your whole life, and your movie career's the same. I'm talking.
He's pretty successful, bro. I don't know.
No, I'm talking about his son. It's a song about his son for After Earth.
His son was in Karate Kid. I liked him then.
Doesn't he have two sons?
He has a daughter.
His daughter.
No, I thought he had two sons.
Oh, he does.
One daughter.
He has.
And one just doesn't do anything.
He has an older son from his first before Jada. He
has
a BJ. BJ before Jada. A BJ child.
I don't think he counts, right? Did you see the black sheep?
Hootie patootie.
Hey now, come on.
He doesn't get promoted, obviously.
He doesn't. I don't think he wants to get promoted.
Does he stay with his real mom? I guess he doesn't stay with him.
I feel like
dude, if you have a choice,
I feel like the last thing that Jane Smith did that people gave a fuck about was wear a dress.
Probably. So if your dad was Will Smith and you have a mom, right, and you love your mom, and Will Smith kind of doesn't give that much fucks about you, who do you choose to stay with?
Is my mom Jada Pinkett Smith?
No, that's your stepmom.
Just Jenny from the block.
Well, how much child support is she
getting? But that's the thing.
Right?
Both lives are probably going to be pretty set up.
And is he writing the check or is it on auto deduct? Because I need to know that before I sign up.
But if you want to do something with your life and have that name out there, you can be Will Smith's kid.
That's true, but I
it
think
doesn't seem like he wants to.
No, I'm saying if it was you, if you had the choice.
I think I'd stay with moms. I think if moms gave a fuck,
Yeah.
If both of them didn't give a fuck, then I'm going with the money.
What if your mom was remarried too?
And is he an asshole?
I don't know.
What if your mom's
key, though?
What if your mom's married to Tretch?
From Naughty by Nature? Oh, I'm sticking with Tretch. Okay. Dude, that guy chased you through the fucking street with a machete. I saw that.
Yeah, he had a machete hitting a drainage pipe. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, he said it, and he said everything's going to be all right. So
he did.
I
That's a good song, man.
Yeah,
that's a good song.
But I say this.
10 years till adulthood. Still
a knucklehead.
I'm better off dead.
Yeah, that's what my neighbor said.
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide on that.
This mother. It's going to be missing one day.
Laura's gonna.
Oh no, it's gonna be like bent. It's just gonna be real sad.
All right.
You think we should keep teaching lessons with fairy tales? And my whole thought is, it's not a bad idea because
I've got a good one for this.
We've always done this, right? But then I find that that gives people a chance to shit on kids. It's like, oh, you just learn all your shit from Disney, or like your life isn't a fairy tale. I'm like, you can't teach kids moral and values and lessons and then shit on them for how you taught them.
Yeah, like also it's also about the morals and ethics kind of changing with the times, right? Because you have like a whole generation that's like, women shouldn't vote. I saw it in a cartoon.
Right.
Maybe you should.
But now,
maybe just go on with the fork in the toaster bit. You should have just paid attention to that one.
Those are called, by the way, looping back around, they're called tines, the end of the spiky parts of the ring.
Oh, I thought it was a prong.
No.
You guys didn't know that?
We had an argument.
You should have
about
been
it.
here.
Should have been here.
Because it fucked me up. Like the
Fact
parts
checker
of a
over
fork.
Yeah.
Like, does a spoon? Does the scoop part of the spoon have a fucking
Well,
name?
I mean, I looked up, I put in names of parts of a fork, and there was a fucking diagram.
Anatomy
of
of
lines.
a
A diagram.
Yeah, there was a
There's
diagram.
two parts of goddamn fork.
Nope, because the bin's
already
called
wrong.
something, and the
For sure.
oh yeah, fork diagrams,
That's too much
bro.
sauce.
Bro, where you have your fork diagrams.
Also, speaking of cartoons and kind of morals and ethics, Disney has caught a little bit of shit for putting their racially insensitive material on Disney Plus.
Which stuff?
Like stuff like the Crows and Dumbo and some of the other stuff they did in some of their animated
That's what it
strips.
was.
So that's
That's
my
the
thing
catalog.
too. They put up
You don't have to wa-
there's like a disclaimer on it, right? That says like something like this.
Hey,
this
the world was fucked up back then.
pretty much
Just
is what it
fucking
says.
enjoy it for what it is.
Pretty much what it says. Like, look,
Son of a bitch.
It was okay then. It's not okay now.
Yeah, but
Enjoy it like
I think they should like not censor or
Don't
delete
erase
history.
the history.
That-
Exactly.
that is your catalog, you put it out there.
Like, because like it's also a sign of how far we've come, and it's also a sign of if we don't stay vigilant, we could go back.
Yeah, now you have something to look for.
What do they say? If
look
you don't
back
know
to
where
do.
you've been, you don't know where you're going.
Okay,
Exactly.
I'm gonna segue this. This I know where I'm from. You tell me all
So
the
you're
time.
gonna say Confederate
Alabama.
flag, same thing.
No, not the flag. The Confederate monuments that are taken down.
No, I think that's. I don't think that's right either. I think there is a little bit of context involved in those because
If
they're
you're
not
glorifying it, it's a different story.
correct because they're praising. They're not
Right,
praising the
it's
crows.
I think they could change the way the
Although-
plaque is read.
The crows kind of my favorite part of Dumbo.
I
Aside
haven't
from
seen Dumbo.
the
So,
Of
mouth.
course, it would be.
so have you seen the live action Dumbo?
No, but it's on our list.
I'm interested to see what they replace that with. If
Yeah.
they just totally, retcon that. I'm sorry.
But I seen it.
Oh yeah, but that was my question. It's like we teach kids with fairy tales and then we shit on them. for
Oh, I
learning stuff
didn't
from fairy
finish
tales.
my horribly insensitive thought here, and I'm probably just going to get thrown under the book. Let's say that I grew up around in a Christian home. We went to church. We read the Bible. From 10,000 feet, I'm 40 years old, and I've never read the Bible or even known anything about it. How would any sensible person perceive what they read if they read the Bible and understand that this is what people's faith is built upon?
There's people who are fervently fanatical about being a Christian and it's not read half the book.
I know, but
there's
just,
some ridiculous shit in there.
Let's just hit the high points.
So are you saying
Christmas, Easter,
right?
St. Patrick's Day. I mean,
Jawbone of an ass.
St. Patrick's Day. I don't think is part of it.
maybe we're reading different books. No, it's not. It's not. But I mean, it just, I don't know. I mean, our entire world is structured around stories that are mostly unfathomable from a science standpoint. You talk about teaching people. I mean, sure, there's a ton of good lessons in there.
I tell you what, though, if I could turn water into wine, my fucking house would be lit.
I mean, you drink wine like water when you're home anyway.
That's a fact.
You just have a plastic bag.
So if Cher was walking on water,
Lead the bladder.
if Cher's walking on water like she suggests she could in the song, and Jesus turned the water to wine, does Cher fall?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Because it's not walking on water anymore, and the viscosity is different.
I remember when she did that music video on that boat that it was a big deal.
On the Navy boat.
Oh
yes.
no! She wasn't walking on water. She was turning back time. I apologize. Who was
Yeah.
walking on water?
I don't
I know,
know.
walking on sunshine.
There. I don't know. I think I'm just getting it all mixed up. Sorry, I don't know my Cher that well, boys and girls.
Her ass was trash.
It was. It had
It's different
it had
time.
tattoos on it, so it was
It's
shocking.
a different time.
Yeah, but I feel like
Were
you
those
just
real tattoos?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but was shocking at the time.
Her face.
But I feel like even as a kid, I was disappointed. I was like, this is the big hubbub.
I never thought she was hot.
Should have said a little hubbub.
I never thought Madonna was hot either. So like it never.
Madonna was hot in the early 80s.
I didn't
Madonna's
think
had
so.
her moments.
I never thought
she's
so.
had her moments, and I'll tell you what, she looked better as a brunette, in my opinion. Like when she did like "Living on a Prayer," not "Living on a Prayer" is Bon Jovi.
They look similar.
Pop It on Preach.
No, you're still well. That is a song, but she had the one where Pepsi backed out of the contract with her. Life is a mystery. That one.
Yeah.
What's the name of that song? Feels like
That,
when you call my name,
like a
that's not
little prayer,
stand on my knees. I want to take you there.
Take you there.
In the midnight hour.
I can feel
It's like a prayer. It's like a prayer.
See,
Not
like
living on a prayer.
Not
It's
living
like
on a prayer. Yeah, like a prayer. Yeah,
Boy,
I like some of
that's-
her music. I just didn't
That's
think
sad.
she
It
was
took
hot.
us that long to get there.
Old.
They're old and trash.
yeah. That's a good song though.
Yeah, I like a lot of her music.
Madonna's catalog better than Cher's catalog, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
Bigger too, probably.
I don't know because she was like around like a long time ago.
Who was that?
Cher, like,
Madonna was making music like
I don't
deep
think
into the
Cher's really
2000s.
put that much music out. I really
Yeah,
don't. She
you
was,
might be right.
You know, Gypsies, Tramps, and Thieves goes hard. If I can spit it out. You never heard that song? Oh, you have never heard Gypsies, Tramps, and Thieves by Cher. It's by far my favorite.
I might have.
Cher.
I just
I'll have
don't,
to check
I
it
don't know
out.
names
It's
of
literally
songs.
the hook. Her singing that over and over.
I like the sound of it.
And she was married to Sonny Bono.
But yeah, you know,
Was that a Michael Jackson noise you just made?
but to talk about your
Question.
your cartoon shit, and fantasy, fairy tales, I think it's like, I think there's a level of balance that needs to be there, right? So like, I don't think that fairy tales are the best way to come up on your information because they, for the most part, at least in Western culture and how they're produced, everything works out, and
Right,
that's not
right.
life.
But
And I think that's where the expression like you grew up on fairy tales comes from, is when like you don't get promoted and you fucking pout. It's like, yeah, well, fucking this is life. It doesn't always go your way. But
you do teach your kids through.
correct. That's the thing, is that there needs to be multiple ways of getting information to the next generation, and nothing needs to be completely one sided. I guess would be like my stance on that. Like it can't all be fairy tales. There's got to be a little bit of home training, a little bit of tough love, a little bit of fairy tales too, because I think it's important. I think
You like to have kids have magic in their life. That's the thing with you.
That, and I also think that like sometimes you learn differently. Like, if you're following a character through a journey and you don't know how the decisions that they're making are going to pay out, and then you see the way they pay out, and you're like, oh shit! Like if it wasn't for this, then this wouldn't have happened or whatever.
mean,
and there's valuable lesson there.
Boy Cry Wolf doesn't end well. The guy,
Correct.
the kids
Correct. So like there is some that
Yeah. But Disney like makes everything happy, even though and the real stories they're based on is not happy.
Did you ever see the Big Bad Wolf Disney one though? Like, because the Disney ones back in the day were like, it was the Big Bad Wolf, but it was basically based on The Boy That Cries Wolf.
No, I don't think so.
So I think they were pigs. Like three little pigs almost. And this one pig like kept blowing a horn, and the horn was supposed to be like an alert.
What'd the horn sound like, Bobby? I just wondered.
It was supposed to be an alert to the town to get ready for the wolf. So he did it all the time as like a joke, and everybody would button up the hatches and all that kind of stuff and lock down the town. But then the wolf never came, and then one day the wolf came.
That sounds familiar.
That's
sounds
literally the
familiar.
story of
Yeah.
the three little pigs. And
Well, it's not
No,
the
no,
story
but-
of Three
but-
Little Pigs,
yeah, it's-
but they combined the Three Little Pigs with the Big Bad Wolf,
Yeah, for that-
with
just
the
for that
Boy
cartoon.
That Cried
I
Wolf.
guess
and
that's what I
That
remember.
sounds.
Yeah.
I must have seen it
That's
because
what I
that sounds very
remember.
familiar.
That was cool. It's on Disney Plus too. I saw it on there.
I mean, I scroll through Disney Plus, and I'm glad you guys got it. And now I have it.
Dude, Disney Plus is the shit. I'm loving it.
I'm in a Disney
fucking
Plus Facebook group.
Really?
It's a fucking train wreck. All I do is like fucking just bait people and answer questions incorrectly.
The
It's so much
Spider-Man
fun.
animated series is on there.
But they're out of order, Bobby. They're out of order, and that's a big fucking deal to a lot of people.
They were talking about they didn't censor the Gorgo episode that they censored later about what's his face accidentally shooting the cop. I think.
I don't even know about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They might have censored.
I've never seen Gargoyles, so I might
Oh,
want
it's
to.
so
That's
good.
good.
I know that's what everybody says.
So
That's
good.
what
I
everybody
mean,
says.
like he doesn't like animated stuff, but like if you
I've
like,
never seen
if you like,
Gargoyles.
Entirely true though.
if you like
Never seen it.
something with a decent story, that's animated, try Gargoyles. At least the first 2 seasons is solid.
Yeah, it's on my list.
I like the season when they're like going back in time and stuff like that. I like that one.
Was it the last one?
I don't
I'm
know.
not sure.
Probably.
The last one was
Close
like
to the
real
last.
shaky though, because it doesn't even look like the same people made it.
It's quite possibly they didn't.
Chris.
Oh, my turn. Let's nerd this up. I have a lot, but I'll try to get through it because I did watch all 4 episodes of The Toys That Made Us. I think my favorite one was My Little Pony. To be
I'm
honest,
surprised your favorite is not the wrestling one.
no, because it's full of holes and inaccuracies.
that's right. You can't. I get it. You don't want to watch something that you're an expert in the field.
Well, I wouldn't say I was an expert, and I did learn some things from there. But there was also some like they left out. It was kind of like they left NECA out. They left out the entire two companies that made action figures in the past 10 years.
Do you think it's because they didn't have a source in the company to talk with them?
I think it's because they don't give a shit about the modern stuff.
Well, maybe.
I mean, wrestling is modern though. Wrestling toys is relatively modern.
overall.
Like
They're the like rubber ones that like
No,
didn't move
yeah.
back
So
in the day.
the LJNs back in the 80s.
LJ,
No big deal.
Well, I mean, that's the brand that come, and that's how they're called. They're LGNs.
Right.
And then the Hasbros were the little stocky guys with the action.
Action move. I had a few of those.
Yeah, and then the Jack Specific Bone Crunchers, which were trash, but I had all. That's when that was my pocket there when they're talking about those. I had, I don't know, probably 150, 200 that I acquired in like 2 years.
Yeah.
The first time I got in a fight with a stalker at Walmart was me opening pallets of wrestling figures.
Dude, but just to get back to your point,
Yeah.
like the most fascinating episode to this day for me has been the Barbie episode.
yes.
Yeah,
God, those bitches.
They
My-
were
My
fucking
Little-
gangsters.
My Little
All those
Pony.
women were gangsters.
My
hate
Little
'em.
Pony has some similar archetypes in there.
I want to see it.
The Power Rangers one was actually pretty good too.
Is it just like the girl brand stuff that is like fucking?
Maybe it's because I don't know the intimate details about it.
It might be that.
But like the Power Rangers one was great. The story that line is taken from is it Toei? Is that how you say it?
Yes.
Toei in Japan with
Toy.
honk your own horn, Bobby. Yes, that's what we do now.
we all need a different horn.
Yeah.
So
I need one that says wow wow.
So Nerd Rage Universe, we need 2 different horns. Y'all got to get together on this shit. Whoever sent this one, thank you. Find 2 different sounding horns.
Somebody needs a slide whistle.
Keep in mind, my mic has a doily on it, so do what you will with that
That's true.
information. But yeah, we powered through all 4 of those on one night. I guess it was Saturday night. But that was interesting to watch. They've changed their editing on there. They don't do the like recreations anymore.
Which I think is for the best.
But there's some editing choices in there. And Bobby, you might have noticed this. You said you watched
Turtles.
So it's like the narrator's talking, and they just show the guy sitting there making this kind of look. It's like,
And then they
are
use it
you
like,
reading him that question right there, or are you just grabbing stock footage and putting it
correct.
together?
And then they use it like 30 times.
Right. So in there's a couple women in the My Little Pony one that really have like a lot of. They come across as bitchy, and me and Kelly were like, I wonder if that's just the way this is edited.
You ever watch a pornographic film and in your
Yes.
head in your head you're thinking to yourself, that's the same sequence shot from a different.
Oh yeah, no. Oh, back, dude. When I was young and you get those 4-hour VHSs, you get the loop.
Yeah.
like I seen the scene.
I'm like,
already.
dude, I like that's the same. She's saying the same thing.
Yeah.
like
Like
it's-
5
But
minutes
it's in
later,
German
right?
this
but,
time.
but now it's like a close up shot as
Yeah.
opposed to a different close up
So-
shot.
But it's the same thing.
So I'll
Yeah.
tell you where I think that might have come from. I remember when DVDs had just become popular, the multi-angle thing. Remember
Yes.
that? So they probably took all that
they never
footage
use that
and
anymore.
just run it, all together. I don't know if I mentioned this, but I was on Pornhub recently. It's probably about a month ago, and I saw the ad before the video, for educational purposes, was of the Jay and Silent Bob movie.
really?
Yeah.
no, they have legit ads on there now. It's
Yeah.
not all porn ads.
So like it was, whatever that movie they've got the sequel, and they're rolling
Yeah.
it out really weird.
Yeah, I
So I
agree.
listened to Kevin Smith on
Fat Man.
Rogan.
Rogan.
Actually, I didn't even talk about. They ended up talking about MMA, of course. All roads lead to MMA. But on there they were kind of explaining that process, and I'm like, I want to ask you about your advertising budget.
Right.
I thought that was interesting. I can't remember if I spoke about this last week or not.
We still don't watch Tusk.
Yeah.
I don't want to watch Tusk.
I finished the Jack Ryan series. Did I mention?
Oh
it last
yeah,
week?
the one I was mistaken for Jack Reacher.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, I don't know if I was through
you
it, but
just
I
started
did.
it,
I did
maybe.
finish it. It was very good.
Oh,
I enjoyed
good.
it. So I think there's a lot of legs on that franchise. I watched.
I feel like there's a joke in there, but okay.
A lot of we say it as a far reach.
Give it to me.
No, don't even reach for
You're
it.
you're definitely reaching on that one, Bobby. I watched Toy Story 4. I hadn't seen it yet.
I haven't seen it.
I hope this is the last one.
3 should have been the last one.
It's getting
3 would have been a great way to end.
3 would have been a great way to end because this is a bit of a stretch. I mean, it still tugs at the heartstrings a little bit at the end. You know, some big decisions happen in this, but I don't really know how they're going to go forward. Do you guys care about spoilers on the Toy Story 4?
I don't. Do you?
No. Basically, at the end, Woody finds so it opens with Bo Peep. You know, always had a kind of thing with Woody, and Bo Peep gets given away once the little girl's old enough not to care. Well, they run into Bo Peep, and she's like a toy in the wild. She's got this little troop, and you know they go around on adventures, and there's some antique store. I mean, I won't get into the whole story, but at the end, Woody makes a decision to stay with Bo Peep, and the rest of the gang who's left goes with Bonnie, the girl that they're with now. So it's like, I mean, they could tell some interesting stories.
Yeah, I don't
there.
hate that. I don't hate that. I mean, just as in a 5-minute explanation, I don't hate that.
I mean, they can make a TV series out of it. Like they had, I like the Space Command cartoon they had.
You and Trump, man.
That's.
I'm sorry.
Space
How's
Force.
that? Oh, it's Space Force.
Fucking what's his face?
Why don't they-
Buzz Lightyear had a cartoon TV show. You don't remember?
Yeah, I remember it
Yeah,
for
okay.
sure. Yeah. Why don't they make like the wall into like the launch platform for space adventures or whatever they're calling it? Just multi-purpose.
Yeah.
I watched Mandalorian. I'm sure I'm not going to deep dive that.
Yeah, I figured we'd talk about it in a Star Wars segment.
Because I think, you know, I think I've seen each episode 3 times. And there's something to be said for that. We'll get into that. So that has made me want to spend money. So I hunted down the Black Series figure for the Mandalorian, and I guess I've got an IG-88 Best Buy exclusive coming, and I'm not even sure what else is out there.
Cara Dune.
And the weird Jawas, which is a whole other thing we got to talk about. And I did go ahead and pre-order the Hot Toys for the Mandalorian and the IG-11.
My concern with the IG-11 is that might be it.
My fear for IG-11...
No, I have theories too.
Hang on. My fear is it's going to be like K2SO, and I don't want to pay $400 for a non-soft goods figure, so I'll pay $250 for it.
Okay. That's legit.
Shout out to Maryland Phil. He brought me a copy of the #1 of the new Punisher series. It's called Punisher Soviet, and it is a Max book with F words and everything. So it's like, and it's so funny.
Trying to get on that YouTube train.
Well, they're trying to get in that. I think they maybe see what DC's doing with the Black Label.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they had. Oh, no.
But
I like the original Punisher Max anyway.
I did too. I mean, I don't know. There's one Punisher. I think it's Punisher Kill Crew. It's something to do with Asgard. I'm not real sure. I'm waiting on the trade to come out, but it looks like it's wild as hell. But this is a good book. It's set in New York, and you know apparently it's called Punisher Soviet. Apparently, kind of his match from the Soviet side of things has been wreaking havoc. So it reads really well. I actually got to go to dinner with Brian Brink in his neck of the woods, so to speak, in Delaware. Went to Firebirds and had a great steak. We both did. There wasn't a sign of ketchup anywhere on the table.
Trash.
But we went to Second and Charles. Are you guys familiar with that chain? It's a used bookstore. They do have new stuff as well, but they have a great, like, their trades section is normally pretty good, and they're cheap. So I picked up I actually didn't have a decent copy of Frank Miller's Dark Knight Returns. So I picked up a copy of that and the sequel, Dark Knight Strikes Again. And I started reading that. And it's entertaining, but there's no Batman yet.
I'd be curious to hear your concluded thoughts on Dark Knight Strikes Again.
Okay. I know it's a polarizing subject. I know it's either love it or hate it.
I think for the most part, people just hate it.
Really?
Yeah. Like,
Okay,
I don't
maybe
mind
it's
it.
not
I kind of think it's fine. It's like, you know, it's like when George Lucas has 100% creative control of Star Wars. It's like, well, of course, I mean, when you're riding the lunatic train, this is the direction the train goes in, you know?
Exactly.
And it's the same thing with Frank Miller with fucking Batman. It's like, oh, you gave him the fucking full reins?
Right.
Yeah? Did you also let the fucking cats and the dogs get put in the same pen, you fucking idiot? Because he's a fucking lunatic.
So, and just so I'm clear, after this book, there are 2 more.
One.
So, Dark Knight 3, and that's it?
Yeah, Master Race.
Okay, I was thinking there was another one.
Sounds awful.
So,
yes, it's awesome. It's
Master Race is
awesome. Yeah, I think so anyway.
I'll watch
Somebody will cut that by Master Race is awesome.
Yep.
I watched 2 other things on Disney.
Also, the crows are your favorite part of Dumbo.
Yeah, your favorite part of Dumbo. I watched 2 other things on Disney. I watched
Second favorite. I like the mouse first.
I watched a documentary about how it's the way our dogs are. It was basically about why dogs are shaped the way they're shaped, and the different breeding people have done over the years, because it all goes back to
They're all wolves.
they're all wolves, but all dogs
All of
are
them.
the same species. It's
Yep.
just their shape. So like
They used to think there was like multiple species, but
Yeah,
no, it's just one. They
it's
were
all
all
the
wolves,
same.
and then people just fucked them up.
So like tiny little dogs were made to keep, like royalty would keep them on their hands and like have dogs lay on their feet to keep them warm, which is just crazy.
Wild.
Talking about
Instead
like
of making like some hand muffs, they just fucking bred a goddamn dog.
They could have just killed a dog, made gloves out of it.
like
It had to be special.
Fucking idiots.
They were inbred, so
like a bloodhound's ears are so long, so it can, like when it gets down on the ground, its ears can kind of ruffle up the ground to make the smells come up, and also it kind of gives them like tunnel vision, all sorts of crazy shit, like
And to make
ears
the
flap.
baby
And where the
super cute.
Oh, absolutely.
where the fuck
They
does
trip
Chihuahuas
over.
come from? The fuck are they good for?
Chihuahuas have the best hearing of any dog. You know,
The
it's like
ears
Is
are
that why they're
fucking
fucking
huge.
yelling
Yeah,
all the time?
40
'Cause they
times.
always hear some shit.
That's what they said. Chihuahuas
Useless.
are always going to be loud because they hear everything.
Huh. Tito from Oliver and Company, my favorite Chihuahua of all time for sure.
What about the Taco Bell Chihuahua?
Can't fuck with
Tito.
Tito. Tito would
Get
fuck
Taco
that
Bell.
Chihuahua up.
So the other thing I watched was Jeff Goldblum has a documentary
Jeff
series.
Goldblum's
What is this?
take on the world or some shit. It's on Disney Plus, right?
It's
I
on the
scrolled by
Plusky.
it.
Yeah.
How was it?
It's great. So, I clicked on it. Honestly, I just wanted to. I had just gotten it logged in. I was like, all right, I don't want to watch Star Wars yet because I'm not ready. Well, I was on my computer and I was just making sure the login worked. So I clicked on that. I'm like, oh, the first episode's about sneakers. Sold.
Right.
So it was a very interesting thing where he goes and talks to, I mean, people that, if you're in the sneaker culture, word flex, I know, that you recognize some of these characters that are in here. But, you know, he just kind of has some experiences.
Tyler in there?
Huh?
Tyler in there?
No, but somebody Tyler hates is in there, so it works
Oh
out.
no, that's
Yeah.
bad blood.
Yeah.
So did you take your shoe off when you went to propose to your wife?
No,
Like in that, don't want to crease your shit now?
it ain't like that, I promise you. And the second episode is about ice cream,
Oh,
which
great.
it was pretty dope.
is great.
Like he talks to Ben and Jerry,
Oh, wow.
which kind of remind me of Eastman and Laird to an extent.
I thought one of them died.
Simon and Garfunkel.
Not yet. They were both in this video. But Bernie Sanders is from Vermont, and these guys are from Vermont, and I'm guessing they're all about the same age because they all look batshit crazy. They all look batshit crazy. But I thought that was entertaining. I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
So it's just him talking to people,
It's him wandering around like,
Just having a go.
being Jeff Goldblum.
Just being
Yeah,
Jeff Goldblum.
and he's so
Awesome.
There's
he's
a lot of
so eclectic.
stuttering and repeating the
He's
first
so
word.
eclectic.
I love it.
Like he goes and plays basketball with a bunch of people, and it's
How does he
just super-
fare?
Not great.
Yeah.
I mean, he's old, but he's in shape.
He's
man.
in good shape,
He's in
and he's
fucking good
tall.
shape. He's like in his 50s, 60s.
Yeah, you can buy the fucking statue of him laying up against
on Sideshow. Yes,
Yeah.
it's fucking amazing.
with his shirt unbuttoned.
That's what's up. Yeah, that's a lot of swag right there.
That's a lot of swag.
They,
that's-
they did ask him. He did ask all these basketball. It was all the people that, like, did the and one crazy ass basketball shit.
I love that.
Oh, I do too.
Yeah.
And they were like, "What would your nickname be?" He's like three people. Like, you'd have been the Fly. Because he's so long and lanky, anyways. And I watched listened to 2 episodes of The Dollop. One about Wells Fargo Bank, which I originally started listening to it. I'm like, it's going to be about wagons and horses. No, it's about basically the past 15 years how they have corrupted the entire banking
Oh, yeah.
industry.
Oh, yeah.
And I had
I
always
gotta stay
heard
off of
this.
stuff like
Who's
that.
the other one? Who's another big bank? They're
all-
always mentioned
all
in the
of them.
same. Like they got that, like the bull as like their.
Oh, that's Wells Fargo. No,
Oh, is
no,
it?
hang on. The Bull.
I think it's like a bull. I don't know. Maybe I'm fucked up.
Anyways, and I guess I had heard all this stuff like in the news today, Wells Fargo, and then I had never put it all together. Holy shit. It's so fucked up.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, it's funny. My mom worked for a bank called South Trust that got bought by Wachovia, that got bought by Wells Fargo. So for a long time, my parents banked there, and I remember them complaining about just some of the fees and stuff, but they never had any wacky shit like that happen. But all of a sudden,
does Wells Fargo text you often?
They don't. But I have gotten some bullshit
They
through
text
that
me.
channel.
They text me like every day.
What are they asking you for?
It's like Wells Fargo 7869431BC at don'ttrustme.com.
Yeah.
And they're always saying how I need to change my password to my account.
Which you don't have?
No, I've changed the password 13 times now in the past 2 weeks.
But you
know?
do have a Wells Fargo account.
No.
Therein lies the humor. So I mean, they told some crazy stories about what happened to people, and like the saddest one was like there's this 90-year-old guy whose the house was in his wife's name, and she had Alzheimer's. but the house had been paid
I
off.
believe it's called Old Timers.
It's actually not. The house, yeah, definitely not worthy. The house had been paid off for 30 years, and they had gotten an email or a call that said they owed a $90,000 balloon payment. They're like, no, we don't. No, we don't. And they were having to go to like paying legal fees to try to fight this shit.
Yep.
I don't know. I'm just glad I didn't.
No, I gotta say all that because I like as great as some parts of the world is right now. It's fucking so many fucking cracks at the seams that people are just turning blind eyes to on purpose, which is what I'm doing because
Me too, man. I
like,
mean,
I can't. I gotta live my life, and if it falls apart, I'm not gonna be surprised.
Yeah.
I just feel bad for the people who are because some people just see the good in the world, and when things start going bad, they're gonna be fucking off guard.
Yeah. The other one I listened to was about moving day, and I had never heard of this until I watched this, but apparently. Until World War II, if you lived in Manhattan, you moved every year on like the 1st of May. Every year, everybody moved.
That's awful.
It is. It's awful.
Why?
But I don't know. That was just that's just what we do.
Dim
That
the
was what you
rules.
had. Damn the rules. So it's
I hate traditions, man.
It started out
Tradition
like,
make no sense.
Depends on the tradition, Jack.
and it goes
But
back.
the overall idea of it, we just do shit because it's been done.
Right.
That's what it really comes down to.
So it goes back. It goes back to like
moving
when
every fucking
Manhattan.
May.
It goes back to when Manhattan was just a ball of mud and people had tar paper shacks. Well, every year they basically trade shacks and build their shacks over there. It sounds batshit crazy, but this went on until the beginning of World War II because there weren't enough people to like move the shit because they all went to fight. I don't know. It's just batshit crazy. That's part of our history. But that is the reason why housing rates are so ridiculous because every year the landlords will be like, oh, $100 more, $100 more, $100 more, $300 more. Fuck it, let's double it. That's why everything's so fucking expensive. I mean, they don't say that directly, but you can tie that to. That's why everything in New York City is more expensive because they did this shit from like 18 something.
The whole history, like the Dutch bought that shit from the Indians for like 3 acorns or some shit.
The Dutch brought bowling to the New World. I retained that from 11th grade history. I don't know why. So that's me.
All right, Krista, do you have anything that you want to add for the week?
The Nerd Week?
How your week was?
Did you?
We watched more Clone Wars last night.
Yes.
How do you feel about that?
I like it.
Yeah, it's good. It's good fun.
Yeah.
I like Anakin and Ahsoka's relationship and that shit a lot. And what's funny is I went to see the Clone Wars movie in the theater when it came out, and it's the only thing that's ever turned me off.
We haven't watched it because you said it was bad. So
I'm going to watch it again now that I know where their relationship goes and everything, and see if I see it through a different lens.
Right,
we
because
need the
at
last
the time
season
you're like, who the fuck is this girl?
Yeah.
we need the
why is
last
she
season
here?
first, though, right? The last season's not out yet, right?
Correct. The Bad Batch and all that shit.
Season 7 that's gonna be last season.
Yeah, dude, I can't wait for this shit.
I mean, that's one of the reasons we were also not caught up with it. Well, the last season's not even out yet.
Yeah,
But
next
now we're
first
one
quarter
season
next year, I think. But I'm going to watch that movie again, though, now, because I have a better understanding of their relationship, and maybe I'll see it differently. But it's the only thing that's ever turned me off to Star Wars. And I like the fucking Ewok movies. You know what I mean? Like, it's the only thing that's ever turned me off. But the show is really good.
We should watch the Christmas special for Christmas.
I'm down. I've been trying to hide myself from it, but I'm down
Can we
for
do
that.
something with something happens and we take a shot maybe just to get through it?
I don't know why I drink
Milk,
milk because eventually I'm gonna get sick.
This is true.
Or extra heavy cream.
Yeah. No, eggnog. Joe.
I was going to
shoot eggnog.
What are your thoughts, if you guys have looked at it at all, of this MMC Bruticus and the all?
I saw your review today.
Thank you. The all-encompassing, like
I know, like when you talk to people, I'm the people you're not talking to. Like some people are into it, but that's not my thing. But I'm the some people.
right.
Like I want all include. I know there's gonna be limitations. I know there's sacrifices to be made, but I'm willing for to have
All those sacrifices, because it seems like there's a lot of sacrifices. Like the ankle rockers are limited. The the aesthetics suffer in both modes. I feel like
What I like the most about the all-inclusiveness is that they sell a kit that's you can add to the
But
inclusiveness.
see, that's in response to people bitching, though.
maybe.
Stand your ground.
But
Yeah,
it's the best of both worlds. If you don't want it, I don't want it. I won't get it with a kit. If
I can't do that
Canceled.
If you want it, then you get the add-on kit. It's an option for you.
Right. No, I get that, but I've even seen people say, like, in my comments from the video today, like, thank God someone finally came along and made it all encompassing like I've always wanted. It's because parts forming on it is so stupid. And once I buy the shoes, it'll really be good to go.
Oh,
and
no,
I'm like,
that's
wait a
dumb.
minute.
Don't buy the fucking shoe. You got to do it or don't. Don't fucking buy the shoe. But I mean, that's what I loved about the fucking TFC Hercules.
Buy the shoe. Is that a anime?
What? There's probably an anime about shoes. I'm sure there is.
Right.
I just don't know about it. But
It's
the
probably not the one you want it to be, though.
the forearms of Hercules was all inclusive.
Correct.
And it was based off,
And that's cool. That was cool.
Can I tell you something?
I'm not against it in theory.
and you saw, it's pretty fucking badass how the hand combines on
I
a
agree.
vortex.
I agree. So I think the arm works a lot better than the foot.
I have only owned one combiner in the modern era, and that is the Hasbro
Oh God. jeez.
Constructabots. Shout out to Dom.
Constructabots.
Shout out to Dom. Called them Constructabots.
You made
on
him sound
YouTube,
like Hasbro is a knockoff here.
That's the only. I've never had a Masterpiece third-party Transformer combiner.
But like I don't.
I mean, I played with them
any-
over here, but
Yeah.
Yeah, they look cool and like they don't do anything for me. Like I like Generation Toy. You know,
But here's the thing: have you seen the fucking? Well, I like the Generation Toy one too, but they use
both of them
I do too. Aesthetically, I do too. But they use parts forming.
kind of.
I mean, for the hands and feet, the same thing that would save the aesthetics of
The hands and feet. The trailer.
which one's the one that's got?
There's
the,
no piece you set off to the side. That's,
okay.
that's
Well,
what I mean.
the trailer itself is parts forming though, so the whole thing is parts forming in that regard.
Which one is it that's got the?
okay, if go ahead. Sorry.
the Motormaster that's longer than a loaf of bread.
That's the X9.
You have to
I mean,
carry it like a small child.
they have double long trailers,
Yeah,
right? In real life,
they do. But
They
but
do.
Motor
They don't
Master's
look
not
like
one.
that at all.
No, but like if like say your Toy World, whatever, what is that thing called?
Don't talk about it like it's
Constructor?
Like it's trash.
No, a constructor.
Uh-huh.
Like if the
Constructabot.
fucking thighs and forearms combined and made a fucking a fucking dumpster or something, I'll be happy with that.
Oh, okay. Okay, so
I
you
just don't want that to be a fucking part that appears out of nowhere.
Oh, okay. Okay,
don't-
so
I
it's
don't
not the
mind
parts
that at all.
forming; it's how the parts forming is integrated.
Yes, and
Okay.
but ultimately, I do want all inclusive.
All inclusive.
Like that's I understand you can't,
But I feel,
it's hard to do.
I feel like the middle bot of that Bruticus does not look good. Like it doesn't look good in robot mode. It doesn't look good in combine mode.
I
Like
haven't seen enough of it. When you take a look at it, I'll take a look at
the
it.
onslaught, like that, like because I feel like all right. So the Swindle and the Vortex,
Because like he looks good.
correct, but he has a whole trailer worth of accessories to
Half a
make the
trailer,
shit.
yeah.
All right.
Which one is that again?
The Motormaster,
Generation Toy or
I'm sorry.
Transformation.
I can't keep up.
But I mean, he looks
Transformation.
good by himself.
No,
and he has half a trailer. Yes,
I
but
agree.
like Optimus' Prime whole trailer is gone
Correct.
that you set off to the side.
Correct. But I agree that he works well, but the Onslaught doesn't have any pieces. And that's Jaina. And he looks silly, Mac. To me, he looks like the G1 toy. It, like when the legs go to the side and then the other bits come
Yeah.
down. Like, you know, like it looks like the G1 toy to me. Like I'm sure it looks better than the G1 toy. But I don't feel like in my mind's eye it looks leaps and bounds better.
I mean, also, what you're looking for is the parts forming.
Yes, I understand that, but even that aside, like I feel like the arms and the legs make sacrifices to the robot mode aesthetically in order to pull off good-looking arms and good-looking legs. So I get that. With the Onslaught, I don't feel like anything is successful. I don't feel like the combined mode looks good, or the robot mode, or the truck mode.
So that's ultimately a design flaw from the ground up, not because it's non-parts forming.
I would say probably.
So that's just the fault of the design then.
But I wonder if you could just take off the front bumper of that fucking thing, if it wouldn't look better.
I'm completely fine with them with the parts forming thing.
Me too.
Because it gives you the cleanest version of both. But at the same time, from an engineering standpoint, I can appreciate them doing all of it in one. But I think that audience is Bobby. What's the opinion out there? Are people looking
people
at
love
this
this.
MMC for their?
No, they love this giant fucking parts forming things. And
They do.
I understand it.
But
I
they're
understand
loving the MMC too. The MMC one is being widely well received. But I'll tell you,
I want to see what it combine. When is this combined and see how it works out?
one thing I always give MMC is I feel like, regardless of how I feel about what their business choices regarding it or the aesthetic choices that they've done regarding it, the one thing I think they always nail, the materials feel sturdy as fuck. Most of
You
them
can play with it.
And not only, I feel like you could throw the thing off of a building, and as long as it landed in grass, it would be fine.
Yeah, it does.
I actually did a skit, I think, for Feral Rex, where I dropped him. Like I stood on top of, I think I can't remember if it was standing position or something, but like I dropped the bull and the rhino, and they were fine. Like, held them straight out and just dropped them. They hit the ground, and that was it. Fine. But and their transformations are always fun and kind of intuitive. And this thing was not fun. This was a fucking disaster.
I don't know. It was you being him. I mean, I watched this.
It was hard to the pieces were hard to move.
Okay.
Like
but as to the sturdiness,
maybe. But I like the arms. I didn't feel that way. But the arm, so I don't know.
But the legs is important for sturdiness.
True.
They got to be staying one brick.
True. We'll see. I don't hate it. Do we want to talk about Mando and get that out of the way?
Sure.
All right. Joe and I did one for Patreon, kind of talking about it, and I've discussed the first episode on my channel kind of at length, but we haven't really heard much from you in regards to it.
Yeah.
Thoughts, comments, courtesies, concerns.
So I hustled on actually Tuesday morning. My wife, she got the Disney signed up and got it hooked to our ad-free Hulu, which ends up, we had a year free with Verizon, but after that, it's only $1 more per month than what we already pay for Hulu. So it's like a no-brainer, to do that. So this, of course, I picked the week to be on the road when this comes out, but I watched it in the hotel, and I purposefully watched it without subtitles. And I normally watch a lot of stuff with subtitles, just so I make sure I catch everything.
Okay.
But I watched it without them the first time on purpose, just because I wanted the theater experience almost. Then the second time I watched it, I put the subtitles on to see if I missed anything. But I love the Western vibe. I absolutely love it. I think the music is brilliant.
Really?
I love the music.
See, Joe and I aren't crazy about the music.
See, I think it gives it the vibe.
I like
some
it.
of it does.
I like this episode more than the first one.
Music-wise?
Music-wise. Even if it's the same music, maybe it's the editing or
I like
to use it.
I like the music in this episode better as well.
Okay, so it's not just me. All right.
I don't know. I just enjoy that, it keeps it in that Star Wars pocket, but it kind of, to me, it really gives it that Western vibe.
Does he give you a Batman? I agree there's a heavy Western vibe. There's a spaghetti Western in space. No doubt about it. Does he give you a Batman vibe at all?
No. Especially not after this episode.
See, I got especially on this episode when he was going up the side of the fucking sandcrawler and looked like Adam West going up the side of a building.
Well, okay, maybe
some...
he's got Adam West Batman vibe, but not the Batman vibe.
Yeah,
he doesn't have the super dangerous Batman at the top of his game vibe, but like all the the gadgets and grappling hooks and it really reminds me of Batman.
Inspector Gadget,
mystery mask, the whole bit. It does remind. I'm getting a. I feel like he's the closest thing to a Batman character we've had in Star Wars.
I think he almost comes off more like a Deathstroke than a Batman.
Maybe.
Yes.
Maybe, but he has a code. He has. I feel like he has rules. That he's, there's some structure to him. And I'm not saying that he is Batman. I'm just saying that I keep getting this Batman energy from him. And then when he went up the side of the fucking sandcrawler on the rope,
when he was on the rope, I was like, "Oh, that looks
hanging down."
Yeah.
It looked like fucking
Batman.
Adam West.
Yeah.
So I've seen I watched the first episode 3 times. I watched it by myself twice, and then Kelly watched it with me. And she really liked it. And she, I know we watched the trailer together, but she's like, oh, I thought this was an animated thing. No.
Did you like, to both of you guys, which episode did you like more?
2.
I think I like episode 1 just because of the story. From a storytelling standpoint.
I do too, but I'm extremely curious as to why you like the second episode better. Because I feel like the stuff that attracts me to The Mandalorian is the culture and the mythological stuff.
What?
And the second,
what do you mean mythological stuff?
So
Mythosaurus.
I heard they can write them pretty well.
But the mythos, the lore, the world building.
Okay,
almost.
yeah. I'm there with you then. Okay.
And I feel like a lot of people this show is being well received, which is great. It's nice to have Star Wars well received for once. It feels good, but I feel like it is being well received because it is kind of simple. And to me, the second episode is far simpler.
Oh, it's very simple
than the first. So and I know that you were in the same boat as me when you were saying there seems to be. It's like the love of The Mandalorian could only last 24 hours before it turned into I love The Mandalorian because I hate episode 8. It turned into that. So to hear you say that you preferred the second episode, which I feel like is even more of a boiled down element of the stuff that's least interesting to me in the first episode, I found that interesting.
It's not the story. It's not the story that makes me
talk to me.
And also, it's kind of hard. It's because we didn't watch it in a vacuum. I didn't watch episode 2 without watching episode 1. So I already got story elements. So like, it's one thing to me. If you just show me episode 2, I'll be like, okay, this is just a random story.
Right.
Okay, the music, first of all. There was parts in the first one that it took me out. I feel like either the editing or the animation is more refined somehow. The first one was jarring. There were. Remember we were talking about there were scenes that was like that looks real not well done,
like TV.
But this one, I didn't get any of that in this episode.
I agree. This one looks much more cinematic to me
So
too.
you bring up a point, and I mentioned this. I was talking to my wife about this. I am looking at this through lenses of this being a motion picture, and I don't think that's fair. Because it's not. It's not a motion picture. It has a huge budget, but like the speeders, when they're bringing the speeders around, I'm like,
Right.
it's a little bit.
But you don't have to watch it like a soap opera either. You can watch it as a high budget TV show,
exactly,
like
and
Game of Thrones or whatever.
Sure. And for all intents and purposes, I think budget wise, they're kind of in that
Incandescent
realm.
Iridescent porpoises.
Dude, those sound amazing. Do they make them in 12 scale? But that was something I go through in my mind. I'm like, all right, this isn't a movie. This is a TV show, an episodic TV show. But I don't know. I love the world building. They haven't told us what worlds they're on, right?
No, I want to know that stuff just because I'm a nerd.
And
about
I may be able to. It may be out there in the wind. I
wish they would just put it up down at the bottom left hand corner like they do on Rogue One. Just like it just
So you know where you are.
another sand planet.
Yeah. Exactly.
So are Jawas just a plague on every sand planet? And how do they have the same technology?
I don't know, but let's talk about the Jawas because I
like how one of them gets a joke off.
Well,
It's like, your
like
Jawa is
dude,
garbage.
They're willing to trade a whole ship's worth of parts for a fucking egg, man. That's my
hairy
language.
ass egg. I don't.
And they will crack it open and we're fucking digging in. I'm about that life.
Sticking it on their face where a mouth would be.
Well, here's another thing. I like that they show how fucking bothersome they are.
Yeah.
Like
They're
if they
pests.
get a hold of your shit, you're in serious fucking trouble. They took that ship apart.
I needed a better montage song when they were putting the shit back together. I will say that.
But actually, it's not like they're just ripping shit off. They know what they're doing.
They know what they're doing.
They know how to take things apart and put it back together.
I like that a lot. And I also, so the egg scene I like as well. But I'll tell you why I like it. From the way that they scoop in and get the yolk in.
Yes!
So
I like a Cadbury cream egg.
It makes me think about 3PO and he's like, Jawas, disgusting creatures. I'm like, dude, they are disgusting. You ever seen him eat an egg?
I feel personally attacked.
I'm sorry. You would fuck that egg up though.
All
That
by
big
myself.
rhino.
I just that hairy ass egg.
Somebody put Joe's face on that hairy ass egg.
Fucking Robert Deason.
I love the fact that the egg had hair on it.
Yeah.
Like that's just one of those Star Wars things to me where it's like you take something that's normal and regular and you just add something weird. Like, oh no, the milk's blue. Like, no, the egg's hairy. Like,
And I think it's all yolk. I don't think it was white. It's the whole thing is a yolk.
So let's talk about the 50-year-old elephant in the room, so to speak.
Yoda baby?
So the Yoda baby, and that's I guess what everybody's calling it. Does anybody know what species Yoda is?
He's a
No.
the Yoda species.
Well, I mean, was it Yaddle? That was another person.
Oh, yeah, that little
cleverly
hootie patootie.
named. That was Yaddle, but like obviously this is a Force user, and the guy who says bounty hunting is a complicated profession.
I
love that fucking character,
I love
and
that
I
guy,
love
too.
the stormtroopers that are like,
too.
"Hey, we still hanging around? We getting paid? Hey, what's for lunch, Marvin? What's for lunch?
The Yoda, I can't help. I think the Yoda's a clone.
That's what most people
A clone of Yoda?
And the only reason why is because like that doctor or whatever has like the Camino clone patch on his on his
Sugarfoot! I didn't see that.
You didn't watch his...
No, I didn't. 'Cause
Yeah.
I like to have my own opinion sometimes, Joe.
I'm a fan.
of the Force
Bobby.
Fridays.
Okay, all right.
No, only when it pertains to things I care about.
But where did this? So, okay, man. Oh God, damn it, Bobby. That opens up so many.
Correct.
So
I mean, or that narrows it down
is-
to
is-
it's a
well,
fucking
no,
clone.
it is 50 years. But there wasn't anybody on Camino that was of a human.
So then
person.
somebody said if you turn back the hands of time, speaking of Cher,
Nice.
If I could find a way.
that 50 years would about line up around the time that Palpatine would have been trying to create life with Anakin.
Panicking.
Using way too many napkins. Napkins and babkins.
Okay, so here's something that came up. I could not get it through my wife's head that was not a clone of Jango Fett underneath the helmet.
Jango
She
Fett's
just
not
had the hardest time
Jango-
understanding that all Mandal. It's like no,
No, they're
this
not
is
even
a ra-
Mandalorians.
I don't know.
Wait.
Jango Fett and no.
I don't know.
Are they blonde hair, blue eye, white people with puzzle hair?
Well, okay, that brings up a good question.
Sabine isn't either though. Sabine's a Mandalorian
Sabine from Rebels.
from Rebels.
I haven't watched Rebels.
Yeah.
Okay,
so
well,
she's not that.
Well, Satine's sister's redhead, but she still had puzzle hair.
Right. So Satine
And she's
is
still
What are
white.
you calling puzzle hair?
Their hair looks like fucking puzzles.
in the Clone Wars.
Okay.
Satine is like Sabine's aunt, I think.
Yeah, and she's.
You can get a little lost in the sauce on some of that stuff.
I mean, Jango was obviously a Mandalorian. We're led to
well,
believe.
I don't know.
Or he had some cool armor that his son had a cool armor,
Right,
and
so
they
he-
had and they used the skull, and they used the skull here.
Yeah, but
I mean,
Boba
that's definitely
definitely
Mandalorian
Boba
thing.
definitely wore the skull.
Yeah.
But like maybe he's a culture vulture.
hey, if you're if you're a bounty hunter and you want the name for yourself and you be like, yeah, I'm a Mandalorian. I never took my helmet off, so you can't tell, but I'm a Mandalorian. So hire
Well,
me.
I mean, that would be cool to do too. But maybe Jango Fett was the different race from that planet, and he got adopted, and now
Or maybe he
was
killed a Mandalorian.
Who knows?
yeah.
You know,
knows?
but I would like them to flesh that
Maybe
out.
look, watching Clone Wars, like apparently it's a warrior culture and they do accept people in. Like even if
Yes.
you're not a real
I mean,
Mandalorian, you can
Darth
become
Maul.
one.
They let Darth Maul lead them.
So you can become a Mandalorian by nationality, I guess, but not by species.
Yeah, and
You're,
that's a
you're
whole.
not genetically
I mean,
a Mandalorian, but you're like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like the girl who got accepted by the Predator. She's the Predator now. but-
Leia was an Ewok. You know, you've all become part of the tribe.
and C-3PO
Yes.
was a god.
Yes.
Yeah. So we're talking about genetics or
So I wonder though.
Culture.
People that aren't super well versed in all this that are watching this, do they think that's Boba Fett or Jango Fett because that's the only time they've ever seen that helmet?
I don't know.
this is someone who is not
Okay.
super into Star Wars.
What?
Have you ever thought that the Mandalorian was Jango Fett or Boba Fett?
I haven't seen the Mandalorian.
I know, but
yet.
you've seen
Promotional images or
promotional-
anything?
I have seen nothing.
You've seen nothing?
Not
Like
even
no
a picture of
poster?
him?
Or? Oh, okay.
I thought you've had. Oh yeah, she stays on Facebook.
Oh, okay. I mean, I see it all. I see it on Instagram. I see
Or you follow a lot of Star Wars.
Well, I
stuff.
think I'm in. I can't remove
Yeah.
myself from the mix of it. But
I'm
yeah,
trying to find you a picture real quick.
either
But I
way,
mean, but
that
you know
Yoda, Baby Yoda's super fucking cute.
But I mean, I've never thought that either one was a Mandalorian.
Django or Boba.
There you go,
From
from an
watching
outsider.
the Clone Wars.
Okay,
They
so
never-
would you think this guy is related to Boba or Jango Fett based on
Like
seeing
you
this picture?
scroll through that, you see that in your feed.
Aren't they green? Don't they have green?
They are different colors.
Boba
Yes.
Fett's green.
Yeah.
Boba Fett
So
is.
like to me, like that uniform is just like just kind of like a standard thing, and then they keep changing the colors. Like when they were under Darth Maul, they were all red and black.
So that's
and then,
that's
like,
Boba
yeah.
from one of the movies. I don't know which one.
And that
Yeah.
was just the Death Watch, right?
The
That-
Death Watch
Or was blue and white.
Was blue and white, and then when they were under Darth Maul, they were like red and black.
And they
Right.
had the horn. The leader had a horn. Like,
Yeah.
Which is fucking cool.
So like to me, like that thing doesn't really represent like Mandalorians.
Just because
I
you wear the
guess.
armor doesn't mean you're
Okay.
Mandalorian.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it just
Fair
seems
enough.
like a style of armor.
And this is
I
like-
guess, and the color.
But I guess a style of
denotes something.
Mandalorian armor, though.
I mean, that's a deep,
Like,
Right, but
like if
I
you were-
mean, but
if
you
were-
also see that armor like Boba is wearing it other places, so like it didn't. Like I saw him before I saw Mandalorian.
Correct.
Sure.
Correct. But like if like every Spartan wears Spartan armor, but not every person who wears Spartan armor is a Spartan. So like that helmet is like a Spartan helmet, right? Like
Okay.
it's iconic, it's unmistakable, it's part of their culture.
Okay.
They wear it. But a Greek guy could come along. I mean, a Greek guy, like a Persian guy could come along and pick it up on the side of the road and put it on.
Right.
Now he's wearing the helmet, but he's not a Spartan.
right. So it's Mandalorian armor. No matter who's underneath it, it's
That's
still
what I'm
Mandalorian
saying.
armor. No, I
Yeah,
get that.
So
I
she
get
doesn't,
Okay,
as an
yeah.
not like an outsider. You're a casual fan like I am,
Right.
But
Right.
she does. She's not mistaking it.
But I wouldn't.
Right, not for
I
Boba or
I
Jango.
I wouldn't
Right.
have ever thought that they were Mandalorian. I would have
Right.
just thought.
And she's seen
that's just
Mandalorians
the
in Clone Wars.
style of
Armor,
Armor.
good armor.
that they went ahead
That's
and
interesting.
painted for their own thing.
Especially because they're mercenaries. Mercenaries grab whatever they can, the best of whatever they can that they can pay for. So if the best you can pay for is Mandalorian armor, of course you'd be wearing Mandalorian armor.
Well, I think the Mandalorians do need to iron out what they mean in this show.
Yeah.
like to the world.
I mean, because you've got the scene where he walks in.
Because there's the stuff from Rebels, there's the stuff
Yeah.
from Clone Wars, there's the stuff from the EU, there's Jango and Boba, and like now there's this show. And I do think it needs, like, when this show is over, everybody needs to know exactly what the Mandalorians are, what they're about. Because like,
I feel like I know from Clone Wars.
but in the Clone Wars, I don't feel like they have the same Viking vibe that they did in the EU and that they do in this show.
In Clone Wars, they are having a cultural renaissance.
Right,
Like,
I agree.
Like
I agree.
They're trying to define who they are now that they're trying to not be warriors, and then now their warrior culture factions that want to make them warriors again. So like, we haven't finished watching Clone Wars, but like, they're not cohesive right now.
I agree. But because we've seen these
And they have clans.
Correct. But because we've seen them go through all these changes in the limited amount of kind of canon that we have, I would like for the foundation to really be set now. Like, this isn't a changing period. The Mandalorians are who they are. This is where they're at right now. This is what you expect for the Mandalorians. We know this world, this culture. It's settled. Mm-hmm. You know, that's as
currently, whatever time this is.
Whatever time it is. Yeah.
Because we don't know what they are in the...
So it's 5 years after the events of Return of the Jedi.
Correct. But he's saying, like, they'll be settled in regards to whatever time this is.
I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm with you there. Let's get into a few notes. There's not a whole lot.
I know Phil put a whole lot in there.
He did put a whole lot in there.
And
There's not a whole lot.
We have a bunch of questions we're going to try to get through.
Yes. So, fans win? Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah, fans win.
Okay, I agree. It looks far better.
Yes.
But it still looks like trash.
But it doesn't look quite right either.
I don't think so.
Because you know what bothers me? It still has the breakup between the nose area and the eyes.
Yeah, I didn't
see. For me, like that's how you draw Sonic. Like the bridge of the eyes doesn't connect with the nose.
It's like his eyeballs,
right?
Or like
it's like one glob.
Yeah, I don't need that.
I'm willing.
He had two eyes in the cartoon.
Oh, maybe I never. Watched
I'm
the cartoon.
willing to forgive that, but just
in the comics,
the way that trailer. So this is what I did. I watched the old trailer.
Yep.
And then we watched the new trailer. The old trailer to me was more entertaining.
No, it's a better. I think the old trailer is a better trailer.
But the new trailer, it shows off this new animation. But I'm just wondering if they literally laid the animation on top of what they had already done, or if they did some.
I don't think it's that simple. I mean,
yes,
I think they do that first, but I think there's a lot of tweaks that they need to do.
Right. I mean, like where he's looking in reference to the people.
And the lighting.
I'm just wondering if they made Jim Carrey wear that ridiculous mustache anymore.
How I see Sonic.
See, I don't have to have that. Like, because especially when he's like furrowing his eye.
The same
separate.
thing.
Separate enough. I don't read it as one thing. But like, look at that though. The one.
Yeah, no, that's terrible. Look. So we can set a baseline. The first one is terrible.
I mean, there's some horrible things that are 2D that turn to 3D, like Peppa Pig. You don't need to see that.
That's just 4 eyes.
Oh my God, it's awful.
It's actually 2 eyes on each side of the head.
Yes.
Daddy Pig.
And the second one looks far better. The new Sonic looks far better.
I mean, I've gotten no complaints on my feed.
Nope.
That's the fun, but they didn't bring that same energy though, Bobby. Like you like to say,
yeah.
With nobody like, oh, thank God they fixed this. It was like
I got a lot of that.
I didn't see anybody really mention it.
I think we have different fandoms in our feed.
Oh, I guess we do.
Maybe, but I saw the upset people.
But I saw a lot of happy people.
I saw some happy people, but I didn't see it the same way I saw the upset people. You know, like people saying like I do think that there is something like I think if you were a person that was super vocal about, you know, here's the petition and all that shit, you should send them a tweet and say thank you. Thank you. You know what I mean? Just keep that same energy.
I mean, I think the energy of being mad and happy aren't the same. Like when I'm happy or I enjoy something, I don't necessarily need to talk about it. I just to myself, yeah, nice. But if I'm upset about something, then I have to like, look, this is why I'm upset.
I 100% agree. But when your anger from being upset has a direct impact on something making you happy, then I feel like whatever harsh words you had, like if I made you a cup of coffee and it was cold, and you were like, I don't fucking like cold coffee. Like, you fucking idiot. Like, who wants cold coffee? If I want cold coffee, you ask for that special. You don't say, give me hot coffee. You say, give me a cup of iced coffee, because it's the delineating thing of fucking some special need, right? And then the next time you come over, I make you hot coffee, and you're like, hey, man, thanks for the hot coffee.
I feel like that's something like someone in Starbucks had to deal with.
Oh, yeah.
A barista somewhere had to
it was much more complicated than that.
But I mean, that's what I feel like.
Yeah, no, but like I said,
But if I make you a cup of hot coffee to begin with, I don't expect it. Hey, man, thanks for making the coffee hot.
But like, so I guess
you see what he's getting at now.
Yeah,
with the coffee. So we have to step our game up a little bit, Joe.
So I think our feed is just because in my feed there's
No,
lots
that's
of
fair.
posts
That's fair.
of people being happy about it.
Okay.
That's fair.
But I do say like another thing I noticed: the first trailer super Robotnik heavy,
Yeah.
second trailer super Sonic heavy.
Good.
Yeah, I think that's the
So
right
to
choice.
speak.
But I think my guess is
Supersonic.
My guess is they were like, look, Joe, Krista, I got the key to this fucking thing, and his name is Jim fucking Carrey. And then they put out the trailer and like, that's not the key. The key is to make Sonic look right.
Yeah, definitely. Can't overlook that. It's too much to overlook.
All right. And then team up season. Nickelodeon joins forces with Netflix to take on Disney.
Was that actually in the press release?
No.
No.
But
No.
This is a piss poor attempt at anything. I mean,
I mean, I don't know if it's an attempt at anything other than just something lucrative.
yeah, it can't hurt.
Yeah, that's what.
so Nickelodeon's owned by Viacom, which is NBC Universal. Is that who owns?
All the same
No,
fat guys.
Viacom is one of the
Who is
big ones. Like when they talk about them,
Yeah, but who?
whoever they are, Viacom has a seat at the table.
Like the
Look that up.
Illuminati.
Does that mean SpongeBob is going to be on Netflix?
Hopefully.
Because Viacom owns Paramount. Paramount owns Nickelodeon.
I would love the entire catalog of SpongeBob to be in one place at one time.
Me too.
We'll watch the whole fucking thing.
I would.
I would.
I'm ready.
Viacom owns
So it's Nickelodeon, Nick Jr., Comedy Central, MTV,
Comedy
VH1,
Central is pretty big. That's pretty big.
MTV.
all that shit.
Yeah.
The
My-
Paramount Network,
My teen pregnancy or whatever.
CMT,
I love the
TV
80s.
Land.
I love the
They all
80s.
are.
I love the 80s and the 90s.
I wonder if they would do like any of the like the Max and stuff like that. You know,
That would be great.
That would be
'cause
great.
Do they even still have that?
I don't know. I would imagine that MTV.
Why they sold it off?
I would imagine that MTV has it.
Who has Savage Dragon?
I don't know who
Eric Larson
owns the
for
rights
sure.
to Savage Dragon.
Eric Larson for sure. He never let that. Dude, shout out to Eric Larson and Todd McFarlane, like the only two Image guys that were like, you know what, we're in it to the fucking finish. Everybody else, like Jim Lee was like, I'm going to DC. You know, Mark Silvestri did his own thing. But yeah, I think that it's smart. I think that Netflix is feeling the pinch, and I was just thinking, like, look at the fucking YouTube world. They were like, well, Last Jedi isn't on Disney Plus because they know they've ruined Star Wars, and it's like, no, that's not why. It's because there's a licensing agreement,
Contract, yeah.
and fucking Netflix has it right now, and when that expires, then Disney Plus will have it.
You know
People
something.
are idiots.
Speaking of new movie streaming, it was kind of a big flex for Disney to say, "Oh, and Endgame, we're going to have that the first day," because it hadn't streamed anywhere. So I thought that was pretty interesting as well.
I agree. There also is. I watched. We have iTV now.
Oh,
Apple TV.
Yes, but it's like their own original programming.
oh,
And Laura was like super excited about it, and so not trash, but trash. So she let me explain. So she was like, "There's
The
this
elephants.
yes, these motherfucking elephants." so Laura was like, "Look, we're gonna after we went to Hell House, right? When we come home, she's like, look as a family. See, it's extremes in my house. I took all the kids to Hell House, and then we all go home and watch a show about elephants. So we get back home, and she's like, look, we're gonna watch this thing on elephants, and they're so majestic. Like fucking 20 minutes in, the baby elephant dies, and then like they're all mourning over this thing, and I'm like,
Elephants are real
Did the
sad.
po- did the-
yeah, and I'm like, I'm
Poachers?
never watching anything you ever recommend again. This is the saddest fucking
Dude.
thing. Oh, let's do Schindler's List and then Old Yeller next, and just fucking round it off.
do you get poachers at least?
No, but one of the main elephants that you follow that like you're like, man, that elephant's got her shit together. Yeah, she then like even, they can't like let it fucking end on a happy note. They're like, like oh, and all the elephants made it to the grassy place, and now they have all the water and grass so they could ever want. Scroll to credits, big music, and it's like Athena died shortly thereafter. When it's like, I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake! And then like there was another Satao or something, some big fucking male elephant. So he's a fucking beautiful beast. Some fucking poacher got a hold of him, and like he's got tusks as big as this fucking room. They wrap around like a goddamn forklift. But yeah, they killed him and took his shit.
No, Krista saves me that because I'm really into nature shows in my head, and I do love them. But I get real bummed out. And
Yeah, dude.
I'm going to put on a nature show, and Krista's like, "Don't do it."
Fucking thing
You
is
know what?
brutal.
Fish shows are fine. You can't get attached to a fish.
Well, they have no feelings.
They have no
Nirvana-
eyelids.
Nirvana.
Exactly.
They can't blink.
Exactly. Fish are fine, not turtles.
No, turtles got personality.
Patrice,
Yeah.
Patrice is Patrice O'Neill has a bit on it. How you stab them and they just they're just not blinking at you. It's a great fucking bit.
It's okay to eat fish because they don't have any feelings. That's what Kurt said.
Yep.
But this fucking. It was
I
like,
used to think it was because they don't have any feet. Because I didn't, when I was young.
that's funny.
It's okay to eat fish because they don't have any feet. And
feet and
yeah.
Okay.
And snakes don't have feet.
Oh man, I remember when I was a kid, we went to the Maxim in Rockville, the Chinese store. My dad took us. I don't know what he was getting, and they had like the fishmonger place in there. There was somebody wanted a huge ass fish, and the guy that was working there took a 2x4 and was just like smashing it, trying to kill it.
How old were you?
Not old enough to be traumatized, but I remember.
That is
Wow, that's incredible.
Because it didn't die in one. That means it didn't die in one hit.
No,
Poor
he
fucking fish.
He went in on it. It was like it was a big fish. It was like
awful.
I remember my mom when we would do crabs, like she was Baltimore trash, and like she would like get you got the live crabs, like she get the live crabs and she steam them, yeah. But like when the heat goes through the shell, it like whistles, so like when she would dump them into the water, like it just sounded like all the crabs were just in there screaming.
Yes.
And I was like, oh my god. Anyway, Jesus, but
Yeah,
this
but
fucking
you still
thing.
love them. You eat them.
Oh, for sure. I wasn't gonna let that get in the way. But this fucking thing was like the Goodfellas of elephants. Like it was fucking
all nature shows and
brutal.
like that.
Yeah.
Nature is fucking rough, man.
But yeah, we're loving Disney Plus so far, and ITV, whatever the fuck that shit
Yeah,
is.
I'm loving you at Disney Plus too.
And I want to watch the Lady and the Tramp shit. And
We need to get our shit together on these passwords. I'm just
Yeah,
saying
that's
we have,
true.
Yeah, so you have Crunchyroll already. But I was saying we can use our Crunchyroll, but I'm not sure if you want your kids watching more anime.
I don't think he wants.
I don't mind them watching anime. No, I
it's
don't
all
mind them at all.
subtitled.
No, is it all sub? There's some
It
dub.
is. It is.
There's some
pretty-
dub.
It's almost all
98%.
subtitles. Yeah. So like, if you're trying to get your kids to read,
Or learn Japanese.
you cannot.
Jaina is already
You can't learn Japanese from subtitles in anime, Joey. It's impossible.
So the other day, I had this thing, and we were talking about it, and it was like some Asian language written on this thing, and I was like, yeah, and it's in Chinese, or Japanese, or, just in casual conversation. And Jaina was like, let me see it. And she like looked at it, and she's like, no, that's not Japanese. That's not Chinese either. And I was like, what?
You can tell.
And she was like,
It's easy.
yeah, all of Japanese stuff exists. She gave me all like the fucking bird's eye view of how the language looks aesthetically, and like, but I mean, it was impressive to me. I didn't let her know it was
nice.
impressive because I'd fucking hear about it for 6 months. But the day, were you down here the day that she fixed the computer? We couldn't get the computer. I can't remember who was in here. I couldn't get the computer to record. And she was like, it's because your master track.
Oh yeah, I was here for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
She brings it up like last week.
It was like 3 months ago.
Like, yeah. Like, she'll just randomly come downstairs. She'll be like, hey, Dad, remember that time I fixed your computer? That was nice of me, I guess. And, like, go on about her day. I'm like, look, you save one of those pats on your back from me, all right?
And
Happy.
you should just make a Google Doc of all the passwords, and everyone has access to
Yes,
it,
but-
and then you can.
I think that's a great idea. My only issue with that is, like, some of that shit, like Netflix, like, you can't watch it at the same time. HBO, I don't think you can watch it at the same
A lot
time.
of stuff we mutually have.
Well,
you have
but
Netflix,
like,
we have
I mean,
Netflix.
Right,
Disney's got, you can set up all these different profiles. So
I
I'm
think
sure
you can watch it
can.
at
I
four
think
places at a time.
It's like
Disney-
with
Disney
Netflix
can.
too.
Netflix too.
Netflix you
has
have to pay
profiles.
for, because, like, we
No,
can,
my parents and we've watched the same stuff at the same time before.
then they're paying for it.
No, they're not paying for it because I sign in. They don't have to sign in.
Okay, well, I have it, and if the kids are watching something downstairs, I can't be watching something upstairs.
Oh, that's because you still get movies in the mail. And that's
I don't anymore.
They're like, look, they need movies in the mail. They don't need to watch something on 2 different TVs.
I don't anymore, but I tell you what, I'd rather go back to movies in the mail and get away with it and get at the streaming service the fuck out of here.
That's weird.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't want to wait 16 fucking months. There's still shit I want to see that came out last year that I can't find on Netflix. Just get me worked up. Fucking Netflix fucking irritates the shit out of me. Speaking of Netflix, good segue. Netflix has picked up the rights to Beverly Hills Cop 4. I just want to put this out there. I'm disappointed for 2 reasons. One, Eddie Murphy alluded to something that he had worked out with Netflix in his riding with comedians in cars.
Didn't he do a thing?
I told
recently?
you I told you guys as soon as he popped up on that show, that motherfucker signed or close to it.
Yeah, I thought he had a thing come up on Netflix recently, didn't he?
Yeah, he's got the Dolomite movie.
I heard it was great.
I heard it was good too.
I've heard
I
good
want to
things.
watch it. Yeah, I heard that was good.
Yeah, we can watch it.
I want to watch it as well. Let me know when you're done with the account. The thing is that, like, when he alluded to this idea that him and Netflix were working together, I was hoping for to finish the holy trilogy of stand up.
Oh,
Raw, Delirious, and whatever the new thing was. And
I don't think he's got the balls to do it now.
And instead, I'm getting Cop 4 on Netflix. I'd rather get that cinematically and then fucking Dolomite, which I heard is great, but still. So I'm happy and disappointed. I'm happy Freddie Murphy because I love that guy, but I'll watch it. If I still have Netflix, I'll watch it, but I'm a little upset. Speaking of things I won't be upset about, or maybe I will, Nicolas Cage Inception.
Nicolas Play King. Oh, yes.
Wait,
so
what?
so Nicolas Cage is in talks to play Nicolas Cage in a movie about Nicolas Cage.
That is like the Nicolas Cage meme page.
Yes.
It's like Nicolas
Yes.
Cage face
on
on
things.
Yes, that's.
That'd be interesting to
Perfect.
see what the approach to that is. If it's a
I
serious take
can't
or
wait. I might go to the theater for that shit.
It's fucking fascinating to me. I am all.
Is it like being John Malkovich? Being
You know
Nick
what's
Cage?
funny? I was thinking about that. There is like a. How do you feel about that movie?
Fine, as far as I remembered it.
Okay.
It's with the little door, right?
On the 13th and a half floor that was for little people?
Yep.
I love that fucking movie.
was that a Wes Anderson movie?
I don't know.
It's just so fucking weird.
Well, see,
mean, it's
that's
supposed to
the
be
thing.
weird.
I think there is this like pocket of movies that I don't feel like exist much anymore that I would like to see a return of, like the adaptation, being John Malkovich, like these fucking weirdo movies.
Do you put that category? Do you put in the movie put this movie in that category? The one where Will Ferrell is it Will Ferrell? Yes, is it?
Stranger Than Fiction.
Yes, you
Yeah,
automatically
yeah.
know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love that movie.
Yeah,
that's a
good,
fucking
too.
great movie.
That's good too. Chicken news. So we've been we've been covering chicken here recently,
Hey, we covered chicken today, actually.
and we did. Chris brought us all chicken sandwiches.
Awesome.
KFC is now selling fried chicken skin.
Yes.
Yes. No, it's
Yeah.
only in Asia land. They need to bring it over here.
Oh yeah.
So
Oh,
good.
my people make the best shit. Fuck.
I saw people doing recipes with it, like on YouTube. They were like, "Oh, take your fried chicken skin and then make fried chicken skin noodles and rice bowls." And that
sounds
like,
amazing.
It's in
yeah.
Thailand and the Philippines.
They need to bring that shit here.
Yes,
I
Indonesia.
mean, I would be happy if they put it in Japan because then we can get it when we go on
Yeah.
vacation.
I'm sure. I'm sure.
I don't know if Japan likes chicken skin like that.
They have KFC. They have KFC in the middle of Akiba.
I know, but do they like chicken skin like that?
They love the fry shit. All the karages
They
and
do.
I don't know. That shit's fucking crazy.
that's the best part.
So good.
I don't know.
What
I
do
don't
they
know if I
use the
agree.
rest of the chicken for? Because you can't have fried
Nuggets?
chicken without the skin.
Nuggets.
Right. Well, that's the thing.
Or shred the meat for some
Or
other
skinless chicken breasts or something. I don't know.
dog food.
Well, like I
Whatever.
feel like chicken skin is good if like I don't know if I feel like fried chicken skin is the best part.
I think it is.
It is. Why
I
else
take-
do you eat fried chicken?
I take
I
all
only-
the skin off and I set it aside, and then I eat my chicken, and then I go back to the skin.
You are the
Me
target
too.
audience.
That's why.
so.
That's why I
See,
do.
I haven't
So-
done that before, but I can see it being delicious.
Like we fried chicken last night, and like we didn't fry the skin.
You just had skinless chicken fried.
What kind of fucking sociopath are you?
Yeah, like you put it. We make a batter.
No.
And you
Oh, okay.
No.
I guess that's kind
If
of
it's
like the
karage.
skin. No,
no. We
karage had the skin on it.
Oh, that's why it's good.
no, we made melanesa. Like it's fucking delicious, and it's like Argentinian thing, and like it's like
Yeah, but
no,
like
it's fucking it's outstanding. It's the best fried chicken I've ever had in my life.
It would be better if it had skin on it.
See, sometimes I feel like the skin makes it like if you like you can get fried chicken that has a skin on it, and it almost turns into like a slime type shit between
They
the
didn't
meat
fry
and
it.
the.
They didn't fry it right.
Fry enough.
Also, like you're not the best person to like give opinions on like how food should be.
I don't know if I agree with that. I don't know if I agree with that. You know why I say that?
Look at Pinkerton's face. That
You know
says it
why?
all.
You know why I say that? I've hosted a number of meals here, and everyone's been like, "This was trash."
No. But like your palate's very limited.
It is limited.
So,
It
like,
is limited.
so you can-
but it doesn't mean that. But we're talking about in the ballpark of something. If I'm into the ballpark, if I'm not in the ballpark, then like pho, I'm not eating that shit. I'll get fucking chicken noodle soup. I'll be fine. You go to a restaurant and get that shit. I'm gonna put saltine crackers in this chicken noodle soup, and I'm gonna be fucking fantastic.
Trash.
Yeah, and I don't have a cold, so I'm not eating it. But
I need Auden to chime in on this. Who the fuck? You guys put somewhere with Facebook something on YouTube. Chris is losing her shit. She's gonna be our community manager soon.
yeah,
Social media consultant.
But like
It's gonna be somewhere.
who?
Yeah, I'll
who-
take it.
I need to know who doesn't think the best part of fried chicken is the skin. I need to know that.
Yeah, like the fried batter. I'm okay with the fried batter layer.
No,
But it doesn't need to be the skin.
No, the skin. The skin makes it better.
I don't know.
The my fried chicken, it doesn't have a batter.
Oh, really?
It's just
Yeah,
It should just make the skin that good.
Yeah.
You ate it.
It doesn't
You
have
had
a
it.
batter. It's just powder.
Did they had sushi?
That was fried. Oh yeah.
That has no batter. It's skin.
Yeah.
And you ate it.
It's got a coating, but it's not like a wet batter.
But don't mistake me. I'm not saying that it's bad. I'm just saying that it's not a selling point for me to have the skin.
What did Cartman
not
do?
the target
What did
audience.
Cartman do when he
And-
got his whole hand on his KFC? He ate all the chicken skin and left the rest of the chicken for everybody else.
But here's what I do like a baked chicken or a baked turkey where you have a nice what do they call it, where you use the thing that looks like a low key dildo.
Baster.
Yes, and you pour it on top, and then
Yeah.
it has a nice
Golden.
She knows what I'm talking about.
She's a cook.
That you peel the pieces off of that and eat that. That I'm with the shits.
So
Oh, I bet
baked
you
chicken.
would like Peking duck.
Yes, Peking duck is amazing.
That's in Christmas Story.
So you said baked chicken. So are you talking about like Captain Marvel?
Like roast.
yes. He's like, it's smiling at me.
So do you eat pork rind?
No,
See,
no.
I
I mean,
I love
I
pork
don't.
rinds.
So
Cracklings.
I don't think I've ever had pork rinds.
So I don't hate them.
great.
I don't hate them, but like if I'm going to get a chip, it's not my first choice.
If I had to eat
Love
pig
pork
skin,
rinds.
pork rind would be my
Pork
first
rinds
choice.
and have you ever had cracklings? They're actually
Yeah,
labeled,
yeah,
so
yeah.
it's like the thicker cut.
Yep.
It's almost
That's
like
just
a bacon.
a pig's toenails, I think.
Dude, listen, roll tide on pig parts.
You get a good
My,
spice.
my uncle eats canned pork brains with scrambled eggs
That's wild.
and ketchup.
Your uncle's wild.
I don't know. This sounds pretty good.
That's
I bet
some-
it's really creamy.
Oh, you can get all
I'll tell
sorts
you
of
though,
stuff in a
when
can.
when I watch Hannibal, when they eat
Cannibal.
Manimal, Garanimals.
grab 'em by his mandible, when they eat the brains, it looks appetizing to me. You know what I'm talking about? At the
Yes.
Is it like
Yes.
foie gras?
end, I don't know. They cut the guy's head open and they
Yeah.
eat it. But you know, what other part I love of Hannibal is when Gary Oldman is talking about how he had that one encounter with Hannibal, and he's like he came over for dinner or something, and he was like, then he pulled out this pocket of pills and asked me if I would like to partake, and I said, oh, boy, would I? Like, that's my favorite part. All right. Lastly, now that we're out of chicken news, Marvel's What If has released a bunch of short GIFs.
Gifts.
It's gifts. I learned that this week.
No, it's
No,
not.
no, it's supposed to be
GIFs.
GIFs,
No,
but
it's
it's GIFs.
GIFs.
It makes no fucking sense. What does a G stand for in GIF?
Graphic
Graphic.
interface.
Do you say? I like.
something.
Do you see the meme?
Yes.
Do you say graphic? Do you want to watch some good graphics?
You want to go play Jolf?
No. I think GIF sounds better, but that's not the way it's supposed to be.
I don't care
said.
who made it. Doesn't make sense.
I'm just saying GIF.
The G.
Yeah, I prefer GIF as well. We can make it
Because GIF is peanut butter and it's delicious and it makes me hungry. So let's just say GIF.
I'm on board. I'm on board.
Like-
what about some peanut butter on that Popeye sandwich?
I don't know if you need to do anything to that.
No, I don't. No. I'm just building stuff here.
I mean, look.
Do the non-spicy, but put peanut butter.
To
on
this
it?
day, I've never put peanut butter on anything, and it tasted worse.
This is true.
Yeah, I'm a butter.
But it would be good with like that peanut dipping sauce from like the Thai restaurant.
He wouldn't know anything about that. But
That
yes.
does sound good.
I'll put it in my chicken.
I love
noodle soup.
peanut flavored anything in cuisine.
Anyway, there was one with female Captain America as Captain Britain. It was like a Captain. Is that? I wonder if that's just
Psylocke is Captain Britain now.
correct. So that's what I'm saying. I'm wondering if that is just a turning on its head of this is Captain America in Britain as a female, or if this is some sort of blend of Captain America and Captain Britain as a female in.
I guess we'll find out.
Yeah.
Because it's what if it can be anything, right?
Right.
I'm
Which is basically all of Elseworld alternate fucking
Sure.
Right.
thing.
What if
What
is
if Batman was fucking Green Lantern? Well, you get to find out.
You don't need to make it a Marvel DC thing. I understand.
I didn't say anything about Marvel DC. I'm just
What if is like their Elseworlds? I feel like.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been around forever. It's just one shot comics, and you know,
I feel
some
like
of them
the-
are
I feel
good,
like
some
the-
of them are really bad.
the main continuity of all this shit is already What If. Like not even
you're
Marvel or
right.
DC. Just
No, I hear you.
just the main universe. Is
But
right
I
here.
mean, I think it's going to be.
What if Psylocke was Asian? What if Psylocke wasn't Asian?
it gives you a good opportunity
Scarlet
to
Johansson.
tell stories with no limitations whatsoever.
No, right.
Because it's so outside canon, they can literally do whatever they want.
And then it's a Winter Soldier versus Zombie Cap, which that one looked interesting to me.
That's cool. Zombie Cap. I like the look of Zombie Cap.
Yeah, I do too. I'm gonna watch it.
I think it
What was
looks
it?
entertaining.
T'Challa as Star Lord.
Yes.
Yeah.
that one seems cool.
Yeah.
So like I'm gonna check it out. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking
It's
forward
on
to
Disney
it.
Plus.
It's coming exclusively to Disney Plus.
Oh, we get that now. It's great.
Pretty cool.
Sharing is caring, man. And then I think. Oh, I wanted to say also real quick before we move on to questions for the last half hour.
Is that
or so.
new? The guy staring at me?
Which guy?
Has he just never stared at me before?
He's that location of everything on that particular shelf.
Okay, I was like,
the pieces aren't new.
I looked up and Batman was like fucking bucking at me.
Yeah.
Joe is commenting on Bobby's Batman statue.
Batman the Animated Series.
Yeah, he's me mugging my ass.
Dude, so good. I watched
I see deals for it all the time.
For what? That piece?
The whole like a box set of the animated series.
Oh, is it
The
the
Blu-ray
little-
one?
The little
yeah,
ones?
no,
Yeah, I got.
Blu-ray with the what's his
Oh,
things,
yeah.
those little
Figures?
pop guys. Yeah,
Oh, I don't think I got the
Are
one
they
with
pop? Or
are they pop?
I did
No,
get the
I
don't
Blu-ray
know.
set. I got it for Christmas, and I got it like a year ago for the special features. I still don't think I've watched it.
Oh, miss, I need the disc because I need the special features.
But I was going to go to the video store to get some DVDs with special features.
So I'm 5 episodes into the Watchmen now, or whatever. I didn't catch the one that was this week. I still have zero fucking idea what's going on in that show, and my patience is fucking
Running
dwindling.
it.
So do you think is that a widely held sentiment that it's like, tell us what the fuck's going on because we're almost done with
The
this shit?
only post I've ever seen about it since the first episode was somebody this past week made a post and said, well, that was at least one question answered. And that was it.
Yeah, I haven't seen much of it. I guess I don't. Do you think it's better to not hear about something or only hear negative stuff about it?
I think it's better. Ooh. I don't know. That's complicated because
Right.
I would say it's better to not hear anything,
Right.
but I heard a ton of negative shit about episode 8, and it's like one of the highest grossing movies and DVD sellers of all time.
At least it's in public consciousness.
Right.
Versus like no one gives a fuck because no one even knows about it because no one's talking about it.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. It's just like I just don't understand the world. I don't understand the world. I don't understand what I'm doing in it. I'm sorry.
That was so genuine. Your look is just like, what are we doing here? I don't know.
It's too much. It's too much. I don't get it. I feel like if I was trying to turn someone on that never looked into any kind of like pop culture sort of stuff, and was like if I went to a layman that knows nothing, and I was just like, check out Endgame. That's how I feel. Like just lost. All right. Questions.
So we have questions from several different sources. How do you want to start this? The ones from the post?
Let's do the one from the first week
Okay.
because we had like 2 on that
Go back a
one.
week and see.
Just because we didn't get to them last week.
Yeah. We should tag these somehow so I can find them clear.
Yeah, and I think I have one too. I'll
What would
look
the
for
date
it.
have been
Make a
for
doc.
that? Jesus.
Yeah, make a doc. God bless. It's too much. It's too much shit.
We're getting close because there's a Popeyes picture from last week or 2 weeks. Was that a long time ago? What date did we? I'm not a fan of this platform. The
on Facebook.
the Facebook Pages platform is
Just
trash.
because
Let me
Dante posts nonstop.
Well, I mean, even like I use it from other pages, and it's.
let me pause it till we find it. All right, so we found him. Sean Love said, "Why is Bobby quitting everything? He quit SCU. He quit smoking. Tell his own hair even quit him. Hell, his own hair even quit him. It's outrage, pitchforks for everyone." I think I've covered that. I just want to give him love because that was a funny question. And if you want to bring up this week's, and I'll have. All right, so Anthony. Neil said, I don't pay attention enough. Where do we send our questions to? Can I post it here? Here's my question. Bobby, at the beginning of the year, you stated you would be saying, I don't know or I don't care. As the year nears an end, how has that been working for you? I've adopted those phrases as well, and my kids are now trained. My son recently rambled on about some Fortnite nonsense. I glanced at him when he finished rambling, and he said, oh, you don't care. So it has helped when the conversation... when you're having a conversation and the emotions within the conversation start ramping up. And that's been my kind of trigger, so to speak. And when I notice that the emotions in the conversation are ramping up, then I ask myself internally, do I know what I'm talking about? And do I care what I'm talking about? And if the answer to either is no, then I quickly state, look, you know what? I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know. Or I'm going to tell you what? I don't care. Like, let's just deflate this whole thing. So in that regard, interpersonal communications wise, I have noticed a change. And then the last one, what do you think about Death Stranding? I'm playing it now, and it's badass. Yes. Also, any chance Adam may occasionally drop in? Darren Qualls. I don't know about Adam. If he wants to drop in, he's more than welcome to.
And I don't know what that other thing is.
The big game, Kojima and Norman Reedus and Matt Mikkelsen.
Oh, that one. The one with, okay.
I just know see memes of it with all the guys stacked on the guy's back carrying a bunch of shit. No? Okay.
I guess we have different
looks fucking
different feeds.
Looks fucking great. I've been watching Let's Play of it. Love it.
Love it.
Mm-hmm. Does Norman Reedus just play the guy from Walking Dead in all these games? I haven't seen any of it, but is it just that kind of swag and attitude?
No. I mean,
does he look dirty?
He's believable. It's the character he's playing.
Fair.
So I just got a comment on Patreon.
Oh.
It says, damn, there was supposed to be a note with the horn. I was kind of thinking I'll let you keep thinking you had a stalker. Don't tell Laura it was me. I don't want to be on her bad side. From Dunkel. So here, this is for you, Dunkel. Thank you.
Thanks,
yeah,
Dunkel.
Thanks a lot.
You're the best, man. You're the best.
All right. Go ahead.
So we have a bunch of questions. Paul C sent some questions Joe's going to pull up.
Okay.
This is from Ryan C. Overheard a couple guys at the local comic shop complaining about too much fan service in The Mandalorian. I disagree with them. I think it's an appropriate amount for the first episode. I guess this was before episode 2 started. So I asked them if they'd seen the second one, and they said no. Personally, I think they're just whiny Me Too neckbeards. But what do I know? Now that we know what disintegration looks like, will it look the same for every species? And thanks for what you guys do. I don't think there was that much fan service in it.
I don't either.
So
maybe if you're the bigger fan you are, the more service you'll see.
Actually.
So I didn't think there was too much, but I was definitely more aware of it in episode 1 than I was in episode 2. I feel like episode 2 kind of got into the story they were telling, and episode 1 was doing a lot of safe shit. We had some of it that I thought was like, okay, this is cool because it's actually performing a number of tasks, but like the fucking eyeball thing that came out of the doorbell droid, and now I'm drawing a blank on fucking all of them, but there was a number of little things. Oh, the salacious crumb being roasted, and
that was sad.
Yeah, because they're sentient.
Watching,
they're not like fucking. Yeah, that's weird.
Like fish,
right?
Yeah. They got eyelids,
and all that stuff
feet
was fine. I was just like, man, this seems heavy. It seems like there's a lot of it. Now, in the second one, I don't feel like they had as much. It's pretty much just the sandcrawler.
So we're off track of this question, but we skipped over when we were talking about it. Let's talk about Jawas as a species. How are they on multiple planets with the same technology?
I mean, they obviously have tech. I mean, they have a culture. I assume.
They do.
You could relate it to culture.
I guess.
Like that's the thing they built. Like they probably invented the crawler, and that's what they travel in.
I think it would just be an interesting story to find out what planet they started on and how they ended up colonizing the one.
I'm sure they came from a sand planet, and they choose other sand planets to go to.
They built sand rockets, not knowing how to build a rocket, or they stowed away.
They seem pretty
changed color robes and eyes. And
they're always able to find massive tracks to build for their sand crawlers.
It isn't like, I don't know. Who knows? Maybe those sand crawlers were used for something completely different millennia ago, and they've just taken them over.
So I have two trains of thought on that, or two sandcrawlers. Right. So one is, it is. I do wish that it looked a little different, a little bit more different. That it wasn't. It looks pretty much like a different color of the original.
Right.
Okay. But if using the original was how they were able to save money in order to make the episode look better total, or make the rhino look better, then cool. You won't hear a peep out of me. I'm with the shit, so I'm willing to sacrifice.
I'm fine with it looking exactly the same. It should be the same vehicle. I mean, not the same exact vehicle, but the same make and model.
Well, they need to sell a different toy, so if they paint a different color.
And also the time, it's not like there's a huge time lapse. So if this is something that their culture uses, like it's only been 10 years since you saw them in whatever
relatively
New Hope or whatever.
Yeah,
it's not that long of a time.
Yeah,
so
that's
why
true.
would there be a change?
Houdini. Was there a first part to his question? Or was it?
So he was talking about fan service, and then the second part was now that we know what disintegration looks like.
So that was something we didn't touch on, but I said that to you, Joe, that when we were watching it. I was like the cool.
I went like this. He's got the snapper gun.
Well, the cool thing about it is it's better. It makes that scene better now when Vader's talking to Boba Fett, and he's like, "And I want him alive, no disintegrations."
Like he's known for it or something.
Yeah, like.
And you got to have a trace of the body.
I was going to say, how do you probably don't get to collect a bounty when you disintegrate. Here's his shirt.
So. Well, or unless that little thing does something like that little
The tracker?
Yeah,
Oh, the tracker or the puck? Because there's a lot going on.
either or.
No, the puck is the bounty. Like that's your information dossier, and the tracker is where they are.
What did you guys think about the guy the guy he gets on his first bounty? Kind of Paul Giamatti kind of guy.
Bobby likes him.
Got a lot of credits.
Yeah,
got a lot of.
I was
credits.
okay with him. I was okay
I
with
don't know
him.
if I mentioned it or not.
Yeah, I was okay with him.
Yeah,
Little slimy, little.
Yeah,
Yeah. I'm
like,
okay
but
with
how
it.
did you get? I wondered, like, why are you here? If you're, what are you doing? You don't seem like the kind of scoundrel that would be in.
He probably got way over his head, is what it looks like.
Probably.
He scammed the wrong person.
Oh, and the guy getting cut in half was fucking awesome.
We
By
didn't
the
see
door?
it though. I would have loved
Yeah.
to
I
see
don't think OSHA would approve that doorway.
No,
Right?
no,
Definitely.
Safety,
It's a
strong
safety
fucking
regs
door.
are trash.
Let's see. This next one is from Gort. What's up, Gort?
Shout out to Gort.
We live in a world where reboots, nostalgia, and comic book movies reign supreme. What trend do you think can overthrow this in the future? That's a good question.
Well, I think when things start to fail, didn't Charlie's Angels just fucking open with an $8 million box
Yep.
office?
And I didn't even know it was coming out.
And also, as people get older, the remakes and stuff it's a different era. But
Yeah.
when we roll around again in 20 years, what are you going to remake? A remake of a remake of a remake?
Sure.
I don't think, because of technology, right? The movies and special effects from 20 years ago is really obsolete to now. But in 20 years from now, I'm sure there'll be an improvement, but I'm not sure if there'll be enough improvement to warrant a graphics upgrade.
I might even go back further than 20 years because I feel like. I'm my math is trash, so maybe it is 20 years. I can't keep.
I'm just making up numbers off the top of my head.
But like, I don't feel like Jurassic Park needs to be remade.
No.
Like I feel like.
It
By the way,
hasn't-
20 years ago was 1999, just to put that in perspective.
So Jurassic
Jesus
Park would.
Christ,
Yeah.
that's
So
exaggerated.
Jurassic Park is way further back than that. So like, I think that should still hold
No,
up.
that's why they haven't rebooted. They just made new ones.
Right. I think the thing is like, in order to really stop that train, they're going to fine tune it. So like when Charlie's Angels fails, they'll be like, okay, that shit didn't work. So A-Team failed.
Basically, it sounds like don't put Kristen Stewart in a movie that is an existing franchise. Jim bombed. This movie bombed.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything else she did other
But
than
Jim,
Twilight.
I think Jim bombed because it doesn't have anything to do with the source
I
material.
just don't
right?
like that girl, and I'm putting her name on all this. Just letting you know, she's the scapegoat. She's the Oliver North in this whole thing.
But
Deep cut there.
I think that one of the things that will stop it is if people start creating new original content that catches.
Okay.
Like
I
if
mean, I'm about that life.
Yeah, me
I mean,
too.
that
but like the problem is like most of the shit, I feel like the new shit that Hollywood puts their money behind, it's not that good.
Not like Jack Reacher.
Or Jack.
No, what was the one that?
Ryan.
Right. No, what was that one Disney put a ton of money in? It was about this guy. It was on a. Oh shit.
John Carpenter.
John Carpenter's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
That wasn't Carpenter, was it? That's the
think
dude
that-
that makes the horror movie.
Yeah.
Oh,
In the Mouth of
It
Madness.
was something like that. It was some common name.
yeah, and he went to Mars.
Yeah.
Oh, there was a book series.
I know what you're
Ma-
talking
Mars
about.
Needs
It
Moms.
is Carpenter.
No?
It
Yeah,
is
I
something
think
Is
it
it
is
John
Carpenter.
Carpenter? Anyways,
At any rate,
somebody will correct us if we're wrong.
But it's like the other Harry Potter. That's not Harry Potter.
Right, but they spent a ton of money on that. It was pretty much an original thing. I mean, there were books, I think, but it just fell flat on its face.
so that's the thing. But like Harry Potter, for instance, would be the opposite, right? That's a new thing, and it was a high quality, and it caught. And I think that sometimes people are like, well, let's have something new, and it's like, no, you're missing a word. Like, let's have something good new.
I mean, that's why that's my common theme always. I harp on it basically on every show is why I think comic books are inferior to manga. Because it's new good shit every year, at least one, if not
Every season.
Every season, there's more new animes coming out every year that is good.
I had a thought about our disagreement regarding manga and comic books.
I like that. I like you say manga. Thank you.
That was a little bit of I'm setting you up. I'm trying to soften you up, butter you up a little bit. I'm not prepared to have it yet. I'm not prepared to have the conversation yet. But I was thinking about it, right? And I was like, man, like there's a lot of shit in this that I love, right? Of these mangas that or anime films that we've watched. And I'm like, I love vampires. I love robots. I love cool robots, especially, which they look fucking cool. Why isn't this catching me? I'm not prepared to have the conversation. I'm giving you information so that you can start preparing your side. I think I'm more interested in character than world. and I feel like a lot of these are more world focused than character focused.
We can have the discussion.
Prepare yourself. Test your might.
But let's think though. I mean, can you? What's something that's I guess an original film franchise that you enjoy now?
What do you mean?
That's not like some rehash redo
film.
And sometimes it's hard too because like there's like much like samples you don't know it's a fucking sample.
Right.
It could be a remake of something you just didn't know it.
Film.
Well, yeah,
Film. I don't know.
John Wick.
How far?
John Wick is one I
How
was
far
gonna
back
mention.
are we going?
I don't know. Go back 20 years.
Lord of the Rings. And wait, it can't be anything rebooted, right?
Well,
not-
but they had those animated movies from Lord of the Rings and for The Hobbit.
And
That's
that's
true.
and it's based. Well, I mean Harry
based
Potter.
on-
So, I mean, The Matrix comes to mind. That was completely out of left field.
Yep.
But
Based on
that didn't
anime.
have-
Great.
but Matrix didn't have the stay power.
What Matrix is still in
They did
pop
3.
consciousness.
What do you mean staying power?
Not
They're
like
making a 4th.
not like most things, because people were generally
They were jaded by the last 2 movies.
last 2 movies.
So
But I
So,
think
like,
it's still
people
like
still-
relevant.
I'm not saying it's irrelevant, but it doesn't have the same. It's not. It's not the
It's not
same.
the same
It's like
territory.
Avatar. Like people love Avatar. People love it.
like my
But it's
dad,
not
my
relevant.
dad loves Avatar, and I don't know why.
It's not irrelevant either, because they're getting ready to make 2 more, and people are talking about those 2
like
more.
no one references Avatar anymore. People still reference the Matrix. I feel like
That's true. People still do reference the Matrix, but people still talk about Avatar. I feel like Avatar is more widely loved than the Matrix.
That's
Probably.
possible. I think it's more easily digestible because it's not telling you.
But I
although
don't-
they are similar, if you really think about it.
But I don't think that Avatar has a staying power either, or has had to this point.
Yeah, we'll see how that plays out in the next, I don't know, 30 years if they ever finish these sequels.
I don't know. I was thinking because like in my head I was like, well, Apes, but that's a fucking reboot.
But see, a lot of things that I enjoyed like watching aren't franchises. They're just one good thing, and sometimes you should just leave the one good thing and not try to make it into a fucking franchise, which will eventually run itself into the ground.
I agree with that as well, but most of those things I don't find are in the pop culture pocket the same way. You know what I mean? Like, Snatch. Just the first movie that came off the top of my head.
I mean, all those movies.
Or Lock, Stock. Yeah. Like, I love them. You know, but they're one and done. They're not trying to be.
Yeah, but they're great.
Agreed. But like, they're not. You're not gonna have the same kind of buy-in, right? Because it's like I'm not getting 6-scale Snatch figures and nobody's thinking of making them. I'm not buying comic books based on it because nobody's thinking of making them. Like it's not gonna. It's not the same. It's not like we're not judging the same thing. Like I think that Game of Thrones is probably something new that is going to be around for a while. But
Still
it
hasn't finished writing the books.
right. But it wasn't a film.
Right.
So I was thinking.
I'll give that credit for sure.
So I don't know. Like the new shit that had. Like, I guess John Wick.
Well, let's look at things that have had, and obviously I'm excited because I enjoy John Wick a lot. But at what point do you say this R-rated movie needs merch? We need T-shirts and we need action figures.
And why are we
I think
looking
it- I
at
think it-
media that way?
I think it
I
depends
know.
on the genre. I'm not looking media el total, but I think that like when you look at things that has the super long lasting power, it's because it is more than a film. It means more
can
to
you-
people than just owning the film.
Can you read the question one more time? I want to make sure I'm answering the question.
We live in a world where reboots, nostalgia, and comic book movies reign supreme. What trend do you think can overthrow this in the future?
See, this doesn't even talk about franchise. We made it into about money and franchise.
So reboots, nostalgia, and comic book movies.
Well, I think because a franchise is stronger. So I think I'm not sure if you can overthrow a franchise without a franchise.
We're talking about a trend, right? So we can have a trend where it's not franchises. They're on the back burner, and where like one-offs are the things that people want, and you just get like we used to one-offs every year, and maybe sometimes they get a sequel, maybe they don't. But that becomes a trend instead of reboots and remakes and whatever.
Yeah.
I think that's what Scorsese's saying, kind of.
Right. But like,
I don't know. I don't know if we can do it anymore. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe culture has just changed, but that's the only thing I can think of that would be something different. That can when people realize they can get good original content if they're willing to just fucking buy into the one thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I remember when 7 came out.
Yeah,
Like people talked about 7 like it was the greatest movie of the year.
Right.
I don't know if a movie like 7 could come out now and pop.
It was
I don't know.
Just like if you have 7 in your pocket, which is a fucking great movie. We all agree? Or,
Yep.
Okay. So you have 7 in the pocket, and you're going up this year. You're going up against in-game.
Pirates of the Caribbean. Sorry, I'm just
Yeah. That's one. In-game Rise of Skywalker, and then a TV Mandalorian, Game of Thrones, and like I don't know.
Just don't know.
I
Well,
just-
you're right. It's a different world. But you what did you say?
Pirates of the Caribbean.
I
Yeah.
mean, it's based on a ride at Disney, but as far as a property that gets
Right,
I mean, they
no.
made a
I
fuck
agree.
ton of money.
It's a franchise.
Four,
It's a
I
Yeah.
think
huge
4 or 5
and it was
movies
new.
or whatever.
yeah,
And even just the first one was,
yeah,
well received. I like
yeah,
the first
super
one.
well received.
But I mean, at the same time, that's kind of a nostalgia thing.
Yeah.
Is it?
Gort, stop asking impossible questions. Good conversations, but
Yeah.
I don't know if we can answer that. Afote asks, how long do you think it'll be until we see transforming figures as detailed as Flame Toys Star Saber for under $150?
For
Never.
under 150.
I don't think you'll ever see
Never.
that because I don't know if those finishes could handle a transformation.
Oh, Fantasy Toys have finishes.
It's not the same though.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, it's not the same.
I mean, they're
they're
good.
not-
Well, and build quality too.
And they're not built for the same purpose. I don't think you're
Right.
supposed to play
For
with the game
$150,
Flame Toys.
yeah.
You can play with Fantasy Toys if you want to. They're made so that you can play with them. I don't think Flame Toys are meant to be played with.
Yeah,
I think they're meant to be displayed. I
Yeah.
think that's it.
yeah. I don't. I think it's like that's trying to fit a round peg into a square hole.
Yeah. Yeah,
So to
that's, I just don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to happen. Justin L, internet personality. Justin L asks,
And real quick, just with those.
yeah.
in, I have a feeling that if somebody tried to tackle it, I don't want it. Like at that price point.
That's fair. Yeah, I think it would be. It could probably come in a bag.
I mean, that's a. Sorry.
That's okay.
Fuck you, Justin. No, I'm just kidding. I love you.
Fair.
I love you. You're on my feet a lot.
He's funny, dude.
Yeah, exactly. So, like it comes in a bag, you say? So it would have to be like, but just from design point of view, model kits would be the thing. You can make detailed model kits that are transformable, but you have to put in the work like Mr. Love over there.
Yeah, good grief.
To make it finished like that yourself. But design-wise, it's doable.
And then you have to trust that they've made the tolerances good enough where your clean paint job is going to make it through.
Yeah,
You know.
it's different.
Because the Gundam kits are like that. You
Sure.
can snap at them, but you've seen beautifully built kits that are painted and then still can be played with.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Justin L asks, where do you see the Popeyes chicken sandwich in 5 years?
Dude,
I got it.
me eating
Slider-
it?
Sliders. They're going to do sliders.
the
too.
thing is, like, the hype may have died down, but the sandwich is not any less good to me.
Agreed. But I do have a question. What was your wait time like today?
I pulled up to the drive-thru. There was one vehicle in front of me. It took longer than it normally would have at a drive-thru. And then when I got to the window, they're like, "Can you hold?" And it was like 2 or 3 minutes. But then I rolled up, grabbed the
I
sandwiches.
think that's a
left.
trick. I think there are good. I think it's because it's not finished. I don't think they just package it up like McDonald's. I think they
No, they
they
make
fry it.
them on demand.
Yeah, so that's why
McDonald's
it's so
does
good.
it too now. though.
They got to cook
don't
the crack to put on it.
That's right.
I
That
would,
sauce.
I would like to see cheese on it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
a little evolution.
You kind of like
You know what? I like my
I
chick.
like cheese on
I
everything.
like my Chick-fil-A. Like I get a spicy chicken sandwich with pepper jack cheese.
Oh yeah,
pepper pig.
Sounds good.
It's good shit.
Pepper jack is
Doesn't
good.
yeah.
Phil asks about any hints for the music video.
We've talked about that.
talked about that
good
already.
bit, yeah.
All right, and we talked about this, but there's a funny twist in it. Andrew S. asks, with figure reviewers turning away from YouTube, which platforms will emerge as alternatives, and will one of them be Pornhub?
People do put like non-porn videos on Pornhub.
Oh really?
Yeah, isn't there a guy that's super popular and all he does is super nice? The guy's like,
Oh, yeah.
tucks you in bed after not trying to have sex with you, and
No, it's usually like tucks you in bed after we had sex, and I also wiped you down and brought you a glass of water.
and it's just a
Yeah.
POV of this nice-looking guy in the
Yeah.
dress well and being really respectful.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I think you're going to see most people go to Patreon,
Yeah.
and then
what about
and
Twitch?
then- and then-
You're not in the Twitch world, but Twitch is popping.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, only from looking at the landscape from the my peers, Patreon is getting mentioned over and over and over
Because-
and over again.
You guys are old.
Wait, yeah,
Probably.
yeah. Twitch. I'm not sure how is. I know it's monetized, but I'm not sure how.
So Twitch
you-
is you have to pay for a
it is like
subscription.
so
You get a one free subscription with Amazon.
But you have to change it every month, I think.
no, you
or
have
you
to
can
resubscribe.
You have to
every month.
okay, you're
yeah.
subscribed.
So they
But you can subscribe to
unsubscribe
something
you.
different.
So if you have
Yeah.
Amazon Prime, you get one free subscription to Twitch
So
every
basically,
month.
you can subscribe to a person's account or whatever, and you pay, I think like $5 a month or $3 or something, and Twitch gets part of that money, and you get part of that money every month. Or you subscribe. Yeah, subscribe.
And it's for live, or not even live, just
Yeah.
like nonstop
So
content.
So-
you know,
yeah.
you're supposed to be able to turn on Twitch and like have something on there.
Yeah,
all the
I mean,
time.
but not obviously not from one person 24/7. So like if you, I think what you could do is like if you were like, oh, okay, so I'm going to be a Twitch streamer and I'm going to do my toy reviews, so you would just have the camera rolling the entire time you're doing it, and
So
if
every
you,
review would be like 45 minutes.
Well, if someone would be watching them all the time.
people, yeah, and you can set it so that they can watch afterwards as well.
Mm-hmm.
But you could also take that footage and then edit it into a video for YouTube, so it can be dual
true.
purpose, I think. But the thing about Twitch is a lot of people like the interaction with the people that they're following. So like if there's somebody watching you while you're doing it, you know, you can talk to them
Right.
while they're in the chat, but then that's a little weird.
Depends on what you're doing.
Yeah, it's a little
Right.
weird for if you like take it to YouTube as well.
Oh,
What,
right,
what
right,
Bobby
right,
would
right,
do,
right.
he would market his Twitch channel as ASMR, and it would just be him struggling with toys, the noise.
Just trying to get the shit to fit.
But I mean, you could do other stuff also. I mean, you could do live stream podcasts. You could do video games when you play your fucking video games, like
Right.
your one video game a year. Yeah, stream that.
Cuss it, you know,
Yeah.
TV.
And
You
I
know-
want to do a series where I go into porno stores and try to strike up conversation with other
Dude,
patrons.
I'm with that shit. I think that would be fucking
Did they
awesome.
still have porn?
Oh yeah, the one on Georgia is still there in Wheaton.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's two,
Catamus
there's-
Video
there's-
3. I don't know where 1 and 2 is, but it's Catamus Video 3.
There's 2 here.
You know what I used to run around video stores and we had an adult in the back. I'd always walk in. You guys find everything? I'd always just be like overly friendly.
Yeah.
Be like, yeah, man. Like, oh, you got on some nice gray sweats you got on there, boss. Fucking
Yeah, but-
smuggling salami. I'm like, come on, dude.
But I, just be like, oh man, have you seen that one? Like, dude, it's really
Look, this
good.
one's got gaping asshole. It's
really
on
good.
the box.
My favorite.
Butt Pie. There's a sequel to it called Butt Cake. Butt with cake all over it. You'd love it.
The last question here is from Adrian. Worst situation you have ever farted in?
Oh, so I want to talk about this.
Great.
So it's not that necessarily I've had a worse. Well, aside from the one where I farted in the car and shit myself, but aside from that one,
For that episode, see, this one winning episode numbers.
right. Aside from that one, you know what I've noticed recently? Like, I'm not a big farter. Like, I don't fart a whole lot, but I do fart. We all do, and when I do, I try to be in my own place. Like, I'm a courteous farter.
No, I'm not.
Me
right,
either.
right. I'm a courteous farter.
I'm a terrorist.
I like now my wife now so to be fair, my wife doesn't get the same privilege.
Okay, but it's like, you know, I understand if you have to fart, but like, you know, me and Joey are in the nest, we're watching our shows, and his back is turned towards me, and then he farts, and I'm like, you could have turned your back the other way.
But it really made that much of a difference.
I think it would have. I think it would have made a
A lot of protein in that diet, right?
My wife makes the same complaints. She
I don't
doesn't.
think about it. Just let it go.
I do think about it, but I'm like, what am I turning around? This is gonna be weird. I'm gonna turn around like and then.
You gotta lift the butt cheek.
So, but in normal life, like I always try to like if I'm at work, I go outside or something like that. Like I get.
There's decorum around work, obviously.
Yeah, but
In
like,
public,
if
yeah.
I'm in public, then I try to find a little place. I go outside by the car or something, like whatever it is. Like I don't try to disrupt other people's flow. Generally, right?
So it sounds like, Bobby, you go on a lot of what I like to call a fart walk or a fart stroll.
Yes. Here's what I've noticed. Every time I do this and I fart, 16 people want to come by my space now. Like as soon as I fart,
let them enjoy
like
it.
3 or 4 people, like all of a sudden they want to come out of Target too at the same time, or like you know, like they like all of a sudden everybody wants to sit on the same bench I'm sitting.
You know what
on.
I enjoy? Like going Christmas shopping and just farting. Because who's going to say?
That's true.
Farting in
gotta
public.
learn to do it and walk at the same time.
Yeah, you don't stop and shake it out or anything.
Tail feather.
Shake your tail feather there, Nelly.
You let it trail behind you.
Yeah,
So that's
Just-
my
just
my
fume 'em. I'm trying to
contribution.
think of one in particular that was like. I mean, I don't remember farting at a funeral inappropriately or anything. Well, let me ask you this though: like, did your parents fart in front of y'all? Like ever?
Yes.
My dad did. My
Yeah.
dad was like pull my finger dad.
Okay.
For sure.
I can't remember.
I just remember every time my dad would fart, he's like, "Damn barking spiders." He'd always say that.
That's some Alabama shit right
That's
there.
some Alabama shit right there. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know.
I'm pretty not.
I think farts are hilarious. I think they're funny.
No, I think they're funny too.
So Chan on Enter the Realm had this whole segment about how funny she thought farts are. I said, you're going to regret that because people's going to walk up laying them on you.
There's a guy that I used to work with that he recorded all of his farts like on his voice app.
Deluxe?
No. But he would record them all like every time he was doing it. He'd be like, whoa. And you could see him struggling, like trying to pull the app out, and then and he had this whole collection.
But you probably never borrowed his phone though, did you?
Never.
Okay.
Never.
No, I don't, I don't get embarrassed much about anything. But I used to when I was young. So the only time I remember being embarrassed in my life was I was in high school. It was in military school. I was falling asleep in class, and you're not paying attention because you're falling asleep. I wasn't trying to, but then I let out a huge fart and it woke me up, and I looked around and everyone was just fucking staring at me.
Yo, if you fart and you wake up an animal,
oh my god, I felt terrible.
That's money right there.
Yeah.
Well, I scared my cat.
Yeah.
So speaking of being embarrassed by farts, I went to a work party one year and they had a teenage son. He was like 13 or 14, so super awkward. And we're all down in the basement, and he wants to hang out with the adults instead of with the kids upstairs or whatever. So he's hanging out. And
did you pull your balls out?
No.
Not that kind of party.
No, not that kind of party.
Not a Pinkerton party.
No. So we're hanging out, and all of a sudden, the mom comes downstairs. This lady Sarah, very cool. And she's like, just checking on, hosting. She's just, how's everybody doing? Everybody good down here? And I was like, well, Zach's down here farting. And dude, he's like, I am not. Take it back. And I was like, okay, dude, I take it back. I'm sorry, he's not down here farting. Jesus,
sounds like Anakin.
He lost his mind.
Was there sand everywhere? Oh my goodness! But that did you have Paul C question? He said he emailed them, so we just need to pull that up.
Pull that up.
He said he sent it in last week, and he said, "I don't want to have to send it again."
No, he
didn't say that at all.
That's Paul C. Matt Hurt, James.
We got three.
G. Yeah. James R. Did we get James R already?
Guys, I don't have email access.
But you can
in this puzzle of
Paul said
dichotomy. We're
gonna figure this out.
Paul said, "What would you rather be, smart or clever?" I know what Joe KW's parents would say, but how about you personally? If you had to, what Star Wars creature would you eat? Two scenarios with this.
Salacious hairy egg.
Which would you eat? Let's do the first one first. So, would you rather be smart or clever, Chris?
Clever, because I think being clever can make me appear smart to the point where I wouldn't need to be smart. I consider myself to be both, but
no big deal.
No big deal.
Weird flex.
No flex at all. But I definitely want to be clever.
What about you, Joe?
Whatever I am now is working out for me, so I would be whatever I am now. I don't think I'm smart or clever, so I don't know.
So I would like to be smart just to give it a shot. I kind of know what being clever feels like. I would like to give smart just to see what that feels like. Just to wake up every day and be like, man, I know why the plants are growing this way or whatever the fucking smart people know about. Krista, do you have an opinion?
Probably clever.
There you go.
Because I know a lot of smart people that are real fucking stupid
or boring.
Actually.
Okay, and then the second one, Star Wars creature. Which creature would you eat? Two scenarios with this. Which would you eat in order to survive? Which would you eat because you would probably be delicious?
That fucking egg looked delicious.
So
it's not a creature though. I guess it's just an egg. I don't think I would eat that rhino thing.
So
I wouldn't choose to. I would eat it, but I don't think it would be like, oh, that looks delicious.
So I would give that a shot.
Yeah, but do you think it looks delicious though?
I don't think it looks bad. Yeah, that looks like
I wonder what rhinos taste like in real life.
Yeah,
I don't think you can eat them.
No, you're not allowed to. Oh
no,
I mean the poison.
I don't think you can.
They
killed them for all their horns and stuff, but did they eat them?
I've never heard anybody eating
think
rhino.
You can eat
I think
them.
the hide may be so tough they can't
maybe
do anything with it.
I don't know. You don't eat elephants, right?
I mean, if you do, there's only one way to do it. It's one bite at a time.
That's a fact.
Sorry, I like to work that in.
So
I think they do eat elephants in Africa.
One bite at a time.
I thought there was a thing where if they kill it, they can eat it.
I could
be making shit up.
No, I don't know.
I'm going through my head of I like to because none of them seem appetizing to me at the
I
moment.
want a whoopee.
Would you
whoopee? And I want him to fling it in my mouth
if you had to.
Oh my god!
You would not.
I'd die.
You would die.
I wouldn't eat a hoodie.
What do you think they're closer to?
Slugs.
Do you think they're slugs?
Mm-hmm.
But they look lizardy. Also, they're like fat lizards.
Can you pour salt on? What happens? Well, they're
'Cause
not.
they got bones,
They're
right?
not
They got
shiny
bones.
though. They're not.
They got
slimy.
bones.
They do have bones.
They have hands, right? And they have
So I guess it's closer to
fat
a.
snake.
no.
It's like a undeveloped. I don't know.
Nope.
You wouldn't eat a hut?
I would eat that weird snake that in the episode we just watched.
Oh, yeah. It wasn't Clone Wars. It was riding on a train.
It was just a regular snake.
It was a giant snake, but it was like a snake thing.
What about that thing that Obi-Wan rides that goes?
No,
That
because
thing is
that's
so
a
cute.
lizard, man.
Oh, was it a lizard?
You can eat lizards?
Yeah, you can. I'm not fucking chowing
Where's
down
some
on them.
birds?
Have you
Where
had
are the birds
you can
at?
eat people eat gators?
Yeah,
I'm
I don't.
assuming it tastes like gators.
I'd eat the fathiers,
The who?
the horses from
Oh, yeah,
episode
they
8.
look good. They look like they would.
And they run, so they're gonna be fucking
What a-
meaty.
True.
What about the tentacle hair of the
Nope.
Twilight?
No, as soon as you said tentacle, no, I would.
I
I might eat the box, but not the hair.
Oh man, I think I.
I think it's just one meaty thing.
I don't know.
You know what I really
they
like?
say it's horns. They're like you got
They're
horns.
soft.
But they're like phallic or
know.
whatever, right?
The what? No, that's not the word you're
No,
looking
phallic,
for.
no. Well, they are phallic. They are
Are they?
by definition.
They're
I
pointy.
think they're more
They have no head on them.
tubular than phallic.
What depends on the phallic?
It depends on. Yeah, I guess so.
Phallus.
You know, the one thing I do want to try is
Yeah.
1/4 portion.
That I would eat that. That looks.
I
like
want to
just-
see what it is.
It's like bread. It looks like to me.
Like
yeah.
some kind of like protein bar to me.
Really?
Yeah.
But like, I have a question. So that was 1/4 portion.
Maybe
That
it's
made
a Rorschach
It
thing.
made the bread. Is a whole portion make a bigger bread, or is it like different stuff?
In my mind, it's bigger bread.
What if inside the bread there's like bacon, cheese, and shit? It's like a bacon.
Dude,
Yeah.
you're selling it.
Salacious crumb. That people eat them apparently in the show.
I don't
Would you
like
eat that?
I definitely wouldn't
No.
eat that.
Didn't look good roasted, right? It's got a face. Is the problem?
No, and the fact that just looking at it, it's like them little legs, little arms. Like you eat the belly.
Ew.
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like,
The good part though, pork belly.
Yeah, pork belly.
yeah, I don't know if I'm fucking with
That's
that.
not no meat. But wait, you didn't answer the question. What would you want to eat? Like
That- no, that
the
is-
best one.
I want
The
to
best
do the
one.
1/4 portion.
Father ears. Or 1/4 portion, but that's not a creature.
That's what. Well, it might have been sometime. Who knows?
But father ears is my choice.
But you would not eat a hut for survival. I think I can eat for survival. I can pretty much eat anything.
So
too.
I would eat a few things in that universe to survive. Like I would try the rhino if possible. I would try the little cat thing that was in the arena, like the saber-toothed cat that had
Yeah.
like bug eyes.
Yeah.
I would try a bunch of it in order to survive. There's some shit I would not eat.
Master Mundy's head.
No, no.
Bobby clearly would be like, "Listen, I need to explain this to you. I'm going to explain to you about ketchup.
I'd be in real trouble.
You see,
Oh, what about
there's
those-
two components.
The fucking the Jabba's fucking guard, the pig things. They're just
So
giant
I might
pigs,
eat-
right?
I might eat that.
Yeah, right. That's
I might
just
eat
The
big.
Gamorrean guard.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever that is.
Oh, what about those mummy guys though?
Mummy
The
guy.
pirates that
Oh.
look like mummies.
They don't look delicious at all.
But would you eat it to survive?
Yeah, I would eat anything. I would eat you to survive. Shit.
Oh my god.
I used to joke all the time. Like I had a buddy of mine that was like big survivalist, like when that was a thing, like around
Yeah.
the, we had a, he was always talking about what he was going to do. He like, oh, I'm going to go to this, and I can go to I'm going to get food from here, and I'm going all the time. So like, we were talking about like eating your loved ones to survive.
I think I would be really healthy. I'm just saying.
And I was like, well, fucking Charlie would kill his wife. Like the power just goes out for like 10 seconds. Charlie's like halfway through the ribs.
So I found the thing I want to eat.
What is it?
It's a Gungan baby.
Oh my god. Oh,
That's probably the
eat
most
that.
fucked up thing I've said today.
Jawas. How about Jawas? We
No.
eat Jawa. Are they even? What are they? Are they furry? Are they skin?
We don't know.
I don't know what you're talking
Ewoks.
It seems like a lot of
Those
work
little
to
tiny
get them
ones?
prepared to eat. I don't know. What about a Wookiee?
Stringy, I think.
No, I couldn't eat a Wookiee.
But you don't know
you
this
love
Wookiee.
If I didn't know, then
And
fine.
you found it.
Because like the thing is, you can't eat a Wookiee because it's like eating a dog. Well,
Wow. What about a Tusken Raider? Definitely not eating a Tusken Raider.
no, but I might eat a
Sand
bantha.
That'd probably be pretty good.
Oh, what were the thing that were the squig? The thing they were riding
Yo, what?
in the Mandalorian.
Why do you always pick the fucked up ones?
It,
You're like
Joey thinks
Jabba.
they're-
It's
Joey
all
thinks
meat.
they're
It's got
cute.
no
Oh.
hands, and
Joe-
it's just
Would you eat one of those snake birds
snake
from
bird.
the Void Planet?
I don't.
The pink.
Well, a lot
I
of
would
it's
eat
going to
them.
depend on, is someone preparing this for me, or am I having to pluck and cluck and do all that stuff as
well,
well?
the snake bird doesn't have feathers. It's just like
Oh,
it's
well,
like
shit, that
bird
may be-
shaped, but
that may
kinda-
be
In my
right
mind, they're preparing it.
Okay.
Let me continue with
Because
some other.
never get off of this. Where's your fucking art book? We're gonna go through every fucking creature. Are you gonna
creature book.
Are you gonna eat it or not?
At the end of the day, I'm just
What about a
hungry,
rancor?
No.
so- dude. One
Right?
bite at
I'm
a time.
I feel about good steaks.
What about the fucking monster from
Oh, the snow monster.
Wampa? I probably
Wampa?
might eat a Wampa.
What about the one you ride?
Tauntaun?
Definitely.
Well, we know what their insides look like, and it doesn't look great.
Yeah, but that's the
That's the
intestines.
I
intestine.
understand that. It's,
What about the big creature monster from Ewok Adventure that lived in the cave?
Oh fuck! Ugh. That's just a giant hairy man thing.
Hey, fellas. Hope you are all well and full of Mandalorian goodness.
Yep.
Couple of questions for y'all. Has
Who's
any
this?
Matt Hurd?
Gotcha.
He said, "Has anyone seen anything about Marvel Crisis Protocol? It's a mini game based in the Marvel universe. It just dropped and looks pretty cool."
Is that the one that they showed the trailer for? That like it's like, oh, these people almost look like the versions of the movie, but they're not quite. But they
I don't
I
think
think that's
so.
something
Is that
else.
something different? No, I have no idea what that is, Matt.
Sorry.
No.
Sorry, Matt.
Okay. Favorite type of apple? I fucks with real heavy. I fucks real heavy with McCown and Honeycrisp. Also, try a slice of sharp cheddar cheese melted on a slice of apple pie. Salty and sweet is an amazing mix on a nice slice of America.
I'll try it.
That's good. I've done that before.
So-
the cheese on the pie.
So I have I pretty much exclusively eat Honeycrisp apples.
Those are my favorites, and I the produce department is all ran by my lovely wife. So whatever she brings home is what I eat. But she likes the Honeycrisp a lot.
So, and I love eating like a sharp cheddar on a Honeycrisp. That's a real treat for me.
Fuji.
Yeah, I only eat Fuji apples.
Yep. Same. I mean, I don't only eat it, but I
You
I
only eat them
prefer it.
because they're the only ones I get.
Yeah. I would eat other ones, but that's one I would choose anyway if I had a choice.
Yeah. Well,
But I feel like Fuji and Honeycrisp are like
Very
Yeah,
similar.
yeah,
Very
yeah,
similar.
yeah,
so
they're
I
similar.
mean, they've been bred to be what they are, basically.
Like
It's like-
dogs for
Well,
farm
exactly.
heat.
It's like dog for rich people. It's apples for simple people, and that's why there's a Honeycrisp.
I think that at Honeycrisp has a bit more tart almost to it.
I don't.
which
I don't
enjoy.
like an apple that's kind of. I describe it as mealy. It's like
yeah,
it
yeah,
almost
yeah,
falls
yeah.
apart.
Get
like
that outta
Red
here.
Delicious.
Red Delicious?
Yeah,
No.
yeah,
No,
get that
I
outta
like
here.
it. It's like it all holds together when I cut it.
No, you
Or
use
bite
them
into
for
it.
pies, right? Isn't Red Delicious
No,
for pies?
you use the green ones.
Granny
on
Smith.
pie. Yeah.
Now I'll
I
tell
like to
you.
eat Granny Smith if I want something sour.
Have you ever had a sumo orange?
That's the great big one,
They are big.
but it peels kind of like
Easy.
like one of those little
It,
tangerine things.
it has like a piece like this that sits out of the top of it like a grenade.
Yeah,
and like-
I've had it over here before.
Okay,
Yeah, they're
dude,
great.
that shit's a
They're
fucking
really good.
game changer. They're Japanese. They're fucking. They meditated on the seeds or some shit. Like there's something special about them. Like they bred it with a certain type of clementine and a certain
feel
type
like
of something. Like they're only available like in February. Like they're $4 an orange.
So what you're describing sounds like something I've eaten, but I don't know the name of it because I've only known
They're
it in
amazing.
Asian language. So
I liked their Facebook page.
wow.
These things.
Oh yeah, I've had those. They're good.
Yeah, but they're very difficult to find, and they only come in season for a very short period of the year. There are many that are like them. It's like
This one is mine.
But this one is mine. Yeah.
Oh, maybe I've had a fake one then.
Or it could be something that's
'Cause
just
it
similar.
definitely wasn't $4 an orange.
Yeah, no, this shit, and I'm telling you, and let me tell you something fucked up. It's gonna sound weird, and I don't know how I ended up doing it. Somebody told me I should do it, but they were right. Get the shower about as hot as you can take it. Mm-hmm. Get in the shower and eat that orange,
And you did it?
dude.
I thought it would be something. Someone's fucking with me.
Because like it opens, like you just feel like something about the heat and the cool orange and the whole, like I felt refreshed as fuck.
I feel like that's something Japanese people would
next
come
time,
up with.
like,
They might have came up with it.
hey, get you one. Go cut the grass instead of coming in and having a cold beer. Have a cold orange.
Yep.
Be a new thing.
Finally, is anxiety just a soft word for fear? It seems to me that it's the same thing. I think anxiety is a way of expressing being afraid without all the baggage of saying you're afraid. I ask people who seem to know a thing or two, and I haven't gotten an answer. Also, will we be getting an interview with the other halves of NRR? Thanks for your time. I would like to do that. I think that's definitely doable too. Get Jisk on it. Have you ladies sit down, and I think that'd be good.
Didn't Pam and
Yeah, Pam and Laura did it like a couple years ago. It'd be time to do a
Well,
re-up.
if you can get Kelly on that, I'll be.
Yeah.
I'll be happy if you can, but you probably have to talk her into it.
I mean, you probably have to just like have a dinner party.
Yeah,
And
then
then she'll be here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, that's
Yeah, and
like,
then
hey, by the
afterwards-
way,
We'll like
you trick her.
bug the dining table.
right.
There you go.
Right. What was the other question that was on there? God damn it. Fear and anxiety.
I think
I think it's broader than just fear because like it's like paranoia. It's like
and it can be like fear is usually a specific thing. Like you're afraid of something that's you
Yeah,
think
I
it's gonna
think
happen.
anxiety-
Anxiety can be just be a feeling. You
Right.
just
I
fucking don't
think
feel right.
anxiety a lot of the time is like you can't pinpoint why you have the anxiety, whereas fear, you're like, man, I'm scared to death of fucking Pikachu over there.
I think that anxiety can be fear. It doesn't have to be fear. You know, it can be broader than that.
What do you guys get anxiety about? Life.
Yeah, it's called existential
I mean,
crisis.
two mortgages will do that to you.
I'll tell you what. Like when we had our dinner for the video shoot
On Friday, yeah.
super anxious because
No, is that because you're looking forward to it, or you're anxious to see the outcome?
no, neither.
Okay.
Because I know that I have inconvenienced everyone. Like I
I
have
think that's the case.
in my head. So I've asked everybody
Headcanon.
I've asked everybody to wear something they wouldn't normally wear. Like people are going out of their way, right? And now it is up to me to make sure they're not entirely miserable. And what I ask them to do is successful. It's when it comes down to other people's expectations and favors and shit like that. That's when I start getting anxious. Like, you know, and before everybody started showing up, I was actually I was pacing in the room. And what else did I do? I picked something up. I dropped it like 30 fucking times. And Laura was like, just sit down until, you know what I mean? Because I get worked up about shit like that. And then last question was from James R. And, this is a long one, James. We might have to save this one for next week.
Yeah, we need to digest that a little bit, I think. It's a lot.
Yeah.
That's from today. Okay, so it's not from last week. Okay, as long as I don't want to keep a question on hold for 2 weeks. We don't have to. But if it's from this week, then we can.
Yeah. James, we're going to get to your question next week. We apologize. And he said he wanted to apologize to you that making an assumption of being a Spider-Man expert is bad.
Oh, no worries.
Yeah, we were just messing around. Nobody took it personal, except for Chris, who's been secretly saying, before we started
Phil was like, well,
yeah,
fuck me then, I guess.
before we started the show, Chris was like, can you believe that motherfucker thinks that I know a goddamn thing about No, we appreciate it. It's all good. And James, we'll get to your question first thing next week.
Put it in the doc.
Put it in the doc. Do some hardcore docking.
Oh,
Podding and docking.
Podding and docking.
who's the inner, who's the outer?
I'm not.
It's the circumstances are going to
Whoever's
dictate the
biggest
actions.
has to be the outer. So
Circumstances are going to have to dictate the action.
Fine.
All right. Shout out to the rest of the Cool Table, Shadowcast, Uncut, Enter the Realm, Beer and Bolters, and Stacey Slock, and Toy Detox, and Building Up to a Breaking the Mold, Fresh Communications, and Verbally Challenged. And
No mugs.
No mugs. Shout out to Marilyn Phil on the Twitter, Dante on the Facebook, Raul on the Instagram, and Manny behind the scenes, Gort and Andy helping me with Force Friday and the Force Sensitive. And did I forget anyone? If I did, I apologize.
This is why you need a doc.
This is what I needed.
Wait, we had the mugs.
This is one of many reasons why I needed that.
We had mugs up there for him to look through, but now we don't.
Yeah, I'm like Ron Burgundy.
All right. With that, flappy labias.
You got anything?
Huh.
So, some oddly sexual
An
two-word
adjective and a
phrase.
body part.
Yeah, you shouldn't have put me on the spot.
No, I shouldn't have.
Tasty taint.
Tight dick player.